yeah 3,000 grinders, yeah, we climb so high. Splitting quality every day, reaching for the sky. Gaming world, beware, we got the winning vibe. Grinding through the night, can you feel the tribe? Controller in my hand, can't slow down this flow. Leveling up fast with every game will show. Top the leaderboards, yeah, watch the numbers rise. Eyes on the prize, we're aiming for the skies. We're grinding games all night, all day. From zero to hero, we'll pave the way. 3,000 strong, we celebrate. Grinding hard for a future great. Every click, every move, we break the mold. Adventures and pixel stories unfold. Together we conquer, nothing to fear. 3,000 grinders, let them hear. Wake up, game on, we never quit the race. Pushing the limits at a breakneck pace. Victory tastes sweet, fortune we chase. 3,000 grinders, we own this space. We're grinding games all night, all day. From zero to hero, we'll pave the way. 3,000 strong, we celebrate. Grinding hard for a future great. Wake up, game on, we never quit the race. Pushing the limits at a breakneck pace. Victory tastes sweet, fortune we chase. 3,000 grinders, we own this space. We're grinding games all night, all day. From zero to hero, we'll pave the way. 3,000 strong, we celebrate. Grinding hard for a future great. Every click, every move, we break the mold. Adventures and pixel stories unfold. Together we conquer, nothing to fear. Grinding hard for a future great. 3,000 grinders, we own this space. 3,000 grinders, we own this space.
Japan, on the business trips to fly. We all thought he just needed a place to fly by, but he found Ninja Gaiden hidden in the night. Now it's on Game Pass, giving gamers a delight. He took a step in Tokyo's bright neon glow, found treasure in the pixels, didn't you know? Ninja Gaiden in his bag, he's a gaming knight, bringing battles and thrills to every fight. He took a step in Tokyo's bright neon glow, found treasure in the pixels, didn't you know? Ninja Gaiden in his bag, he's a gaming knight, bringing battles and thrills to every fight. Phil's got a mission, he's got a plan, sharing Ninja Gaiden all across the land. On PlayStation 2 he wants to sell a ton, uniting gamers, he's having fun. In the arcades of Shibuya he made a bold deal, not just for Game Pass, he's got broader appeal. Phil's close for everyone, no gamer left behind. The magic of Ninja Gaiden for the world to find. From Kyoto to Seattle, he's bridging the gap. Beyond exclusive titles, it's a worldwide map. No more console wars, just a shared love game. Phil's dream is real and everybody's name. Phil's got a mission, he's got a plan, sharing Ninja Gaiden all across the land. On PlayStation 2 he wants to sell a ton.
PlayStation mode. Dreams of fortune turning cold. Now he's out in the cold. Business plans were all a mess. Thought he'd take down the best. Now he's stuck in his own jest. PlayStation's past his test. Matt Booty's dream gone bust. PlayStation outlasts the rust. He tried to kill the trust. Now his empire's turned to dust. Once a king on a throne so high, now he's watching the time tick by. No more dreams to touch the sky. He's left with just a sigh. The market games he played so rough, found out the real stuff was tough. Now those days seem so far off. Old dreams turned into a bluff.
It's coming. Bitches.
Matt Booty's dream gone bust. PlayStation outlasts the rust. He tried to kill the trust. Now his empire's turned to dust, to dust. The Matt Booty's dream gone bust. PlayStation outlasts the rust. He tried to kill the trust. Now his empire's turned to dust.
Grinders, what's up? How you doing? It's Monday night. Grindhouse is open. That's right. Standing room only tonight. The show of shows. The show you've been asking for, and I've been waiting to do. Oh, man. So hopefully you like some new music. It's going to be one of those nights. We got it. Oh, man. I dropped my Astrobot. We're going to have a rolling show, man. I got videos lined up out the wazoo. Thank you. I hope you like that music. That is Gaming Grindhouse music and playlist for the ultimate VIP grinders. Also, as a VIP member, you also get access to some of the music as well. But the ultimates get it in a playlist, which I'm actually now making it so you don't have that intro. So it'll play just music because I'm thinking about putting them up on so you could just listen to it as music there. So Ultimate Grind, you're getting that there. But yeah, new music here from the Gaming Grindhouse. We got another song too. We're almost at our goal already. Thank you again. I'm gonna read those super chats, but we're gonna have an awesome if you thought that song was fire, wait till you hear No Red Line. Dude, that is the new Grindhouse jam. We're going to get that. If we hit that goal today, you're going to hear that live before, and then the Ultimate Grinders will get it, but you'll hear it live on the show. No Red Line. But that was Matt Booty. Matt Booty trying to spend everybody out of business. That was his jam. And then we have Phil Ness went to Japan. But yeah, you see, there's not a lot of topics because we gotta go through the full slate. And I mean the full slate of Phil Ness. That's right. So shout out to everybody coming on in here. Gaming Grindhouse, you know what it is. We're a little early because I know we got a lot to go over. So and hopefully get through it all. I don't know. It's going to be the one-man Grindhouse like traditional here because we got a lot to talk about here, and a lot of it is just things that we've been saying, but it is just crazy on how it has developed. And that is it. That's right. 2 top buttons undone. That's right, Toronto. That's right. So shout out to everybody coming in here. Toronto, Twisted, Michael Meridian, Neil. I'm glad you're healthy now. Shout out to you, baby. How you doing, man? Thrifty, what's up? You doing? Easy Tone loves that song hard as hell. I'll play it again for Easy Tone. We'll get that song for you. Ryan in the house. The quality. That's right, Ito. That's right. Owen TV, what's up? How you doing? Doc. Yeah, shout out to him. How's he doing over there? I need some laundry done. Unchained 1990 with the 5. He goes, you got a PS5 Pro and a Switch 2. It's a wrap. You got the best of all worlds, dude. You got the on the go. You got the PS5 Pro for at home. You're right. And you got the games. And that's the thing. It's all about the games. The games. What's up, Taran? How you doing? The games. Thank you so much, Unchained. But yeah, that's right. And that's the choice that people are making. That's the choice. Or a Steam Deck, or you know, everything but. Everything but. That's why Phil going about choice. Nobody's choosing him, and you're going to hear that a lot. The problem is Microsoft has all these things out there, and they're saying it's choice. It's about choice.
Black Ops 6, day one Game Pass.
Black Ops 6,
sweet, right?
It's about choice.
People said I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, most people in this room have probably been used to spending $60-$70 on it every year.
It's
now,
choice.
if they're already subscribing to Game Pass,
And
good to go.
But it's a choice. Like, we didn't say to anybody, you have to subscribe.
It's a choice. Problem is nobody's choosing them. That's why they had to go buy everybody. It's a choice. What's up, Albert? How you doing, man? Ron M, what's up? Dado boy, how you doing? And then Twisted Sin with a 5. He goes, how much you want to bet Microsoft next quarter earnings is going to be very telling with the direction they're going in now? Hell yeah, Twisted. That's later on this week. That's later on this week. On Thursday, I believe, they're going to share their things. And we're going to really see where it's going. Because you know, like I said before at the end of last year, and thank you again for the super chat, on our way. Like I said before last year, they were laying the road down because they knew it was going to be a rough road ahead. They were planting the seeds. They were scraping the road. They were saying, hey, they know that this year it's comparing Activision with Activision. So you're not going to have 40% increases because it's apples to apples now. It's not without and with Activision, which they were comparing last year and had 40% growth. Now it's apples to apples. And that's why they know that they don't have the growth that they could talk about now, because those numbers, they were able to buy them time. And that's been the motif of everything that they've been doing. They have this vision, but they're trying to just kind of wait to E3, buy their time, and hopefully their vision will come out when they want. The problem is that they don't know how to get there. And they're trying and pivoting and changing and doing all these things and telling people to wait and just delaying stuff and just buying time. The Activision thing last year was buying time. Now they know that they got to compare apples to apples. And we'll see how their growth is and what their console growth is and tell us how strong Xbox is. Please. It's going to be a lot of foreshadowing of that, their services and what they're going to do by putting their games everywhere and doing that stuff. That is going to be their kind of excuse, I am assuming. But we'll talk about it when we see it, Twisted. We'll see how it goes. What's up, Nick? How you doing? Mohammed, Harry Tran, Mod, what's up? In the house, how we going? So as you can see, we got very few topics because we got the one big one that everybody's been talking about. And, you know, the unfortunate one that happened today was it's a choice. That's right. The one that happened today is UBISoft had layoffs. Listen, that's another company that is definitely in the trouble over there. They've been struggling. They also delayed Assassin's Creed into February and then delayed it again into March. And they're hanging their hats on that one right there. They are hanging their hats on Assassin's Creed, but I really think that they're trimming the fat. They're waiting, and they are getting themselves ready to either be merged or buy or do something. Something's going on with Ubisoft this year. I don't think they're going to get out of the year as a full Ubisoft. They're definitely going halvesies on something right there. So, what's up, True Virgil? And my favorite person, goggling those nuts. How you doing?
I have an exciting life now. Breakfast to go. You're going to love my nuts. Watch this.
Welcome, True Virgil, to the Gaming Grindhouse.
I can go directly to Black Nuts.
The only person that has his own lines. So yeah, Ubisoft not doing too hot, and let me see what they laid off. So, which is strange is they laid off a whole group of people, part of the DJ Hero. Very, very unfortunate, but yeah, they shut down another round of layoffs. About 185 people they did. So yeah, unfortunately for them, I think they're just preparing themselves today. So this happened today. Never go full Ubisoft, and Ubisoft doesn't believe in that. And yeah, I'm telling you, depending on how that Assassin's Creed does will depend on who they who's looking, or they may have something in the works that comes together for Ubisoft when they're ready. So I don't know, like maybe when they're ready to go, Ubisoft is going to have some announcement to make when they are ready to be for Assassin's Creed or something along those lines, dude. But it is not it is not good on Ubisoft, son. They've been struggling. So, and the Star Wars, they made some big bets and it didn't pay off on that one. So, unfortunately, more layoffs this year, and Ubisoft is leading the way with that. Yo, shout out to Ron M with the 5 gifted gaming grinders.
It's coming.
As you can see from the top, we're about 96 short. Now we're 90 short to get the next emoji, which I already showed, but we got to show it again. So, the VIPs, you're going to vote on the next emoji. It is going to be the "Thou shalt not," I think, or the next emoji will be the Xbox glaze. Xbox the glaze. That may be the other one. So we're thinking about either those two emojis as we get there. We're about 90 short now that Michael of Ron M has been helping us to get there. Shout out to Brandon. Welcome to the Gaming Grindhouse with the VIPs. Hit the music. Let's go. DDP in the house. VIP grinder. Hit those emojis. Get those videos and new music for VIPs. Let's go. Shout out to Edicom Woods. VIP. That's right. It's showtime. What's up, JC? So yeah, unfortunately, and then as Chad is saying, the reviews aren't looking too great. Listen, it's a rough month. It's a rough year, especially with now with Ninja Gaiden 4 coming and Ghost of Yotai coming. Like they're all
25. It's coming.
What? You have now a Samurai Assassin's Creed. It's like yeah, you missed it. That should have came out last year, sometime in the fall, probably, but. We'll see. But I really, my prediction, I really don't think Ubisoft gets out of this year without doing some sort of merger, acquisition. Somebody's buying them. Something's happening to poor Ubisoft, but because they made some bad bets. But again, this is what's going on. Like, everybody's FAFO. That's what's happening. A lot of people, a lot of these companies, even the ones that Microsoft purchased and even the ones that Sony was buying, a lot of them made some bad decisions or bad bets, and now they're hoping somebody picks them up and saves them from just shutting them down. That was a lot of the acquisitions that Microsoft made in 2018. The dudes were retiring, they're closing up shop. Bethesda was in trouble. But that's what happens. They made bad decisions, and they hope Big Daddy, Tencent, Big Daddy Microsoft, pay us, help us, save us. Well, Jaw says it's going to be Sony. Oh, man. Sony better not do full price. Sony buys Ubisoft. Oh, man. I don't know about that one. Herman Holtz. We'll add that to his Concord decisions. I don't know about buying Ubisoft. That's a lot. I don't know. Ubisoft, I think, is very bad with their, they are just, who knows? Who knows? But that was bad news that came out today. And then the other B news here around, before we get into all the Philness and all the big stuff that's been going on with, we knew this was coming. We had that showcase, which we reacted to. What's up, Marty McFly? How you doing? Is Xbox still around? What year? What year, Mario? What year? So we have, what was I think? Yeah, we have the showcase. They had their developer direct, announced a bunch of games. Then, no picking on Herman. I need to see Herman. I need to see 2 buttons undone for Herman Holst. I've been seeing a lot of turtlenecks lately on these shows. I want to see 2 buttons undone, Herman Holtz going, now I show you Wolverine. Ah. That's what we need. But right after that, we knew the Phil Spencer It's All Coming tour was going to be out. We knew that Phil Spencer, after that developer direct, had a plan. He had a schedule. He was going to go on Gamertag Radio's anniversary and interview. He was going on to Dusty Bin's I Quit My Dream Job podcast. We knew. That's right, Herman's hiding. I don't know. Well, I want chest hair Herman. That's right, Space Wolf. I want chest hair Herman getting out there. Herman Holtz needs to get out there. I want to see this Herman. Where's Herman at the studios? Where is he? This is the Herman I want. See? That's it. No cartwheels, no juggling. Bring out the quality games, Herman. Let's go. That's the Herman we need. 3 buttons undone, chest hair coming out, gold chains. That's the Herman I want to see. So, Phil Spencer did his tour. It's All Coming tour.
25. It's coming.
And now we have a whole bunch of people going, what he said was, what he meant was, listen, this is all calculated. This is basically the Xbox podcast remastered. He knew the messaging coming out of this was that a lot of those games on the developer direct were multi-platform. They would go on a PlayStation. They had no problem. Like typically when Microsoft does a show, they'll just say it's coming to their platform. And then after the fact, you'll see on X or something like that, somebody will be like, hey, it's also a PlayStation big. Oh, it's also coming here as well. Or the developer will say it's also coming here. Microsoft had no shame. They put it out there going, it's coming to everything. PlayStation 5. They had no problem. Xbox publishing, PlayStation 5. It was a revelation. It was something that we haven't seen before. Even games that are on multi-platforms, Microsoft rarely does not market it for PS5. Even with the Indiana Jones, it was Jeff Keighley smuggling grapes. So Phil had to do his tour. Phil Ness Tour 2025, it's all coming. And either he was going to spin it and damage control. It will basically tell people that, hey, I still believe in Xbox, the fans, community. Please don't get rid of your tramp stamps yet. Phil Ness tattoos, keep them. Velocity architecture, vapor chamber right above the ass crack. We're still doing tattoos. We're going to go to FanFest. You'll love me. I'll sign you. I'll do your bodies. I'll do everything you want. Pause on that one. He'd be there. Or he's going to give them the real deal, Phil Ness. And actually, he did the latter. He gave them the real deal Phil Ness. No more fluffing them up anymore. Phil the Fluffer has exited the building. He's no longer Phil the Fluffer. Now, he's Phil the Conqueror. Phil, it's all coming. Phil the PlayStation fan. Phil the Nintendo Switch fan. Phil Ness Mario. Phil Ness Ragnarok. Ragnarok is coming, and that was his Phil Ness tour. He went on these shows, these community shows. He knows to go on these shows because the message will be sent out. And those guys, Paris, Mr. Yellow Chair, going around, Dusty Bin, Baker Extraordinaire, Swedish Chef, Swedish Chef, Dusty Bin, Cookie Concierge. He knew that those people that listen to those shows, the message will get out. And he'll start to pave the way of Xbox is evolving. It's something else. It's his interpretation. Believe in this new vision. Vision number 157. Pivot 1500. That's what he did. And he went out there, calculated, and made sure the message was sent. And then you see him interviewing. Now Paris is like the voice of Phil. He's going around all interviews. I'll show you. He's going around like he's been touched. Like he went to the mountains. He got touched by the Phil Ness gods. And he comes down now and he goes, what he said was, this is what I think was, exclusives don't matter was. We're back to exclusives don't matter. Listen, I am sick and tired of, are we about exclusives? Are we not about exclusives? Is it everywhere for games? Is it exclusive marketing beats? What are we doing here? And that's what we're going to do on our journey. That's what we're going to do on our journey, because you know what? They can't get it right. Something's not sitting right. And this is where we're at. So the first one, let's go through it and see what we got going on here. We're going right to the books, Grinder. There's no grindhouse fluff in here. We're going right to the tapes. And just to give you an idea, I got a wall of videos, sound bites, everything. You're gonna love this, because you're gonna come out of this show cross-eyed. You're gonna be like, yo, how could you eat? What are you a fan of? What is an Xbox? It's this or that. It's this or that. You're gonna come out here going, no wonder they're in the ET hole. So we got the tapes, but let's hear about Phil Ness tour. It's all coming tour. Let's look into it. Here we go. Here, let's hit that like button, grinders. It is going to be a wild ride. We got it. Oh, we have receipts. Oh, all right, Phil Ness, take it away. We're going to go right to the redefining Xbox fans, because I don't need to sit here and find out what he's playing and all these plugs and stuff. We know the Phil Ness. We know how he likes to pivot and go all over and talk about things. We're going to do the redefining Xbox fans. Here we go.
I want to take a bunch of questions from fans, from patrons who wrote in. And one of the pressing questions was about Satya Nadella's comments saying, we're redefining what it means to be an Xbox fan. So what does it mean to be an Xbox fan? Maybe you could define that for us.
And let me start. It is my answer. Satya can talk about his answer. I'll just say,
yeah,
I don't think I get to define what it means to be a fan of Xbox, right? It's like your experience in the platform is different than mine, is different from other players. So I think everybody builds their own personal connection to the platform. You know, the thing that's really driving us is how do we continue to innovate to make the best games possible? And when we look at the world today, the best games, the biggest games, the ones that fuel kind of reinvestment in new games that are coming, or games that are available in as many places as possible. So I want Xbox as a platform to be world-class at connecting players and creators wherever those players might be. And whether it's on cloud, whether it's on PC, whether it's on our own hardware and our own platform, which we love, or other places, we're constantly working at Xbox to make sure that everybody can play the games that they want to play. You know, one of the things I was really proud of yesterday at Showcase was we opened the show with the announcement that all of these games are play anywhere. And it was kind of just a text announcement, but for those of us that are playing on our handheld, like our Steam Decks, our Allies, or Lenovo, like
prototypes,
console, like all of it matters that my save game moves with me. Like I wouldn't want to have to.
Yo, this is something that I noticed a lot too. He's bringing. Let me ask you, grinders, actually in the chat, over about 200 people. You hit that like button. How long was what was the last time Phil Spencer hyped up or talked about Play Anywhere? When was the last time Play Anywhere? You know, where you buy the game on Xbox and you also get it in the Windows Store, not on Steam. You get it on PC, but you get the Windows Store, the non-DLSS version of it, the bootleg version. So, you don't get the Steam version. So, first off, Phil, I don't know how they're playing on a Steam Deck, because you don't get the Steam version with Play Anywhere. And again, Josh said 2017, dude, they haven't talked about Play Anywhere, I think, since 2018, when they were talking about games going in there. I remember I had to look it up halfway through last year, something like 3 years ago, to see what games are still Play Anywhere. And there's not a lot. That's the problem. There's not a lot. And because publishers didn't want to put a game on a platform and say, buy it once and you get it on another one. But him coming on these shows now, hyping up Play Anywhere and cross saves. What? This is what they want. your save, does it work on Steam? Does it work on PlayStation? Does it work on a Switch? When you play anywhere, you get the Windows Store version of the game. Another half-ass, another half-ass initiative. But this is something that he's been hyping up now in this vision of cross saves and hyping up cross saves. Dude, you've been doing cross saves since 2017. Play Anywhere was a 2017 idea. If you remember, when we spoke to Tim Dog, he sat with Stuttering Satya, not Stuttering. And Satya proposed the idea of, what about getting Gears on PC, putting Gears on PC? That was his meeting with Satya. And they said, but you're going to get it for free. You're going to get it included. Don't you remember what Tim Dog said? That's exactly the meeting they had. That was years ago. Phil talking about Play Anywhere now like he just thought of it on January 1st, 2025. But now he's hyping up Play Anywhere. Which, by the way, nobody... They gotta throw money at them or buy the whole ass publisher to do even Play Anywhere. But there he goes. Because this is going to be the problem that we're going to have here, is that this vision, and notice also how many times Phil says platform, platform, platform. And then we're going to go to his other interview where he basically contradicted himself. But notice how many times he says platform.
Start indie again because I'm playing on a different platform, on a different device. I want to be able to play the games that I'm playing everywhere. And I think we learn a lot as a platform by innovating in that space. So let's continue to innovate.
How are we innovating a feature from 2017, Phil? Innovating what? You got the game. Gears 4 was Play Anywhere. You bought the game. The first game that was Play Anywhere was Quantum Break. That was a Play Anywhere game. Quantum Break, grinders. Why is Phil talking about it now? They're innovating. It's 2025. Quantum Break was the first Play Anywhere game. Why is he bringing this up now as this? So you're telling me an Xbox fan is a fan that gets shared saves. Shared saves, Phil. So an Xbox fan is a person that could play their game, start Indiana Jones on the console, and then play it in the Windows 10 store on their laptop. That is an Xbox. That's what you're talking about. Cross-buy. Quantum Break. Play Anywhere initiative. Tim Dog met with Satya to talk about Gears 4 going on Play Anywhere. Gears 4. Why the hell is Phil talking about it now? Like this is the future. They need to innovate and learn. Learn what? This is the comment. This is comical.
As a platform to allow the best games. And then from a fan standpoint, I think Showcase is a good example of this. Let's make sure the best games will be on Xbox and that people will be able to play it, whether from our studios or other studios. And
so let's be sure that the best games are on Xbox. Well, Phil, you're not doing a good job, Phil. Wukong and Baldur's Gate 3 weren't there at launch. Wukong's still not there, which nobody decided to ask that question. Where the hell's Wukong? The best games are on what? On your platform? What platform? What are you talking about? Because guess what? Like what I said before, Wukong skipping console, it skipped your cloud. Wukong's not on your cloud. Wukong is not in your Windows store. Wukong is not on your console. So when they skip your console, they skip your whole platform. So stop talking about the best games, Phil, because the best games are skipping your platform. And where are you to ensure that? They're going in there with, they're giving you that Xbox good skip. That's what they're giving you. Skip. You weren't even in the conversation.
Skip.
Wukong was winning awards left and right. And everybody's like, Phil, where is it? The best games are on our platform. Oops. So how does that make somebody a good fan, Phil? What about the dev that was trying to reach out to you and nobody's answering my emails? I want to put this game in there and on Xbox, but nobody's talking to me. And Phil had to come down from the rooftops and interact with the dev that was getting ignored last year. You're not. How are you ensuring that Xbox is the best place to play? You keep talking about it, but when it's time to enact, you're failing. So why are you sitting here lying to everybody, talking about this? Because this is your idea, and this has always been your stuff. You talk about this stuff out your head, about this idea, the best games, the best platform, everybody plays. And then when it comes down to games like Wukong and Baldur's Gate, where are you?
You're my #1 customer.
You're in Japan, you're flying all over the place, you're grabbing asses. Where the hell are you? When games don't get announced, what about Capcom? They had to go into the streets with pitchforks to get Capcom Arcade Collection. Oh, it's a technical issue with the. Why? Phil's supposedly ensuring the best games to be played, the Capcom Fighting Collection. Oh, it's a technical web issue and something like what? Why there's always excuses? Why can't the games just be there? Twisted Sin with the 2. He goes, speaking, he confirmed keeping the parody of the S. Oh yeah, we'll get into that one.
And it's the best place to play those games.
In order to be the best place, some of your competition have been utilizing AI features. So would the next Xbox use AI to improve graphics or enhance things in another way?
I think it's really important in the AI space that we take the same lens
issues, right?
of
That's
how
right,
do we use AI to make the player experience better or the creator experience better. We already have kind of auto up-res.
Still no Final Fantasies either. Auto up-res he's talking about on the X. Now, Phil, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about DLSS. We're talking about PlayStation DLSS, the PSSR, Phil. Where's your XR, XXXR, Triple XR? Where is yours? These are questions from the Patreon. Shout out Persona, because he was bringing this up too. This means that people want those enhancements that PlayStation has in their Pro. Phil, is that a plan for your next iteration? You believe in the console? You believe in the platform? Are you putting some things in your forward thinking? He says we have up-res. Phil. I thought he was going to go crazy with this question, considering that Satya is in his ass pocket talking about AI every single step of the way.
Technologies, whether it's from NVIDIA, from us, from AMD, Sony's rolled out theirs as well. I think that can help, especially when you think about battery life.
That could help. Battery life. Listen, one thing that I noticed quick listening to some of the clips of this thing is this son of a bitch thinks this. I'm telling you, grind this right now. Xbox console, it is a goddamn appendix. It's a vestigial organ right now. That Series X and S, they may get a paint overdue and maybe a little jack up of a memory or something. But I'm telling you right now, those Xbox consoles that you have are vestigial organs of the Xbox plan. Because every answer that he gives, he's talking about batteries and handhelds. This dude thinks that this handheld future is something that they want to get into, that they're going to do, and they're already behind. They think some ARM Windows computer with some Xbox app slapped over it on Windows is going to do something. It is going to be a Frankenstein of a machine. And you want to know how I know that, grinders? Because they've done this before. What do you mean? Just what do you mean? Do we need to go that far back as to Windows 8 and Windows 10 and quote tablet mode? They tried to convert Windows into a tablet form for those form factors of on the go, trying to compete with an iPad. How did that turn out? How did that turn out, Grindhouse? How did tablet mode on Windows turn out? Oh, you detached the laptop and now you're in tablet mode and now you're in this. They think they're going to do this with Xbox. Like, oh, you'll be in Xbox mode and game mode. You think Steam Big Picture can't wait to have an Xbox overlay? How's that going to work, Phil? Or does the Xbox overlay only work with Xbox Cloud games in your app? But you've tried this before where you have this hunker thing of Windows and you're just going to slap Xbox on top of it. You did this before with tablets. Oh, we're just going to make everything bigger to touch. You want to know what's funny, Phil? Now that you're in this whole portable world, it would have been amazing if you really embraced, and Microsoft themselves embraced tablet mode, because you wouldn't be having the problems you're having now with these small 8-inch screens in your stupid ass Windows use a mouse mode. Maybe if you guys really stuck it and really tried to innovate with that tablet mode and not just make bigger buttons to press, maybe that would have paid off now that everybody's going to handhelds. But you didn't. You abandoned it like everything else, like Mixer, like Connect, like Zune, like Groove. You just did the same old shit. You abandoned tablet mode. And now there's some sort of jank-ass Windows buttons, and maybe it changes a couple of icons and text when you have a tablet function. But that whole turn on tablet mode, turn off tablet mode. Remember the Windows 8 bar that when you hit the start button on Windows 10 and it looks like Windows 8 with big ass apps and stuff like that? Dude, it failed. But he talks about how Xbox is going to work and they're going to slap Xbox over Windows. Please. Windows will always be Windows, and everything will conflict with Windows, even from them. This will be some janky ass app that will start up and probably conflict with Steam and Epic Store and all this other shit. It's so bad right now that every single one of those people that he said, Asus, Lenovo, they all had to make their own overlays, their play browsers, to use some sort of controller input. When Microsoft announced the Xbox controllers since the Xbox One days and have not made the Xbox One controller compatible with any Windows device to control it remotely with a controller. No big picture mode, nothing. That's why none of this shit's gonna work.
Product
But
devices
he's talking
that
about
are
battery, AI. Dustin asked about PSSR and what you're going to put in future consoles, that you're going to have AI upscaling and doing this stuff to get better performance out of games. And Phil Spencer goes on talking about battery life.
There's only one word to describe you, and I'm gonna spell it out for you. S-A-W-F-T.
battery driven, where power is important. More resolution means more power. So if you can actually use techniques to up-res a screen, actually makes the battery life longer. But when we think about
talking about
AI
consoles,
at a fundamental
Phil, with
level,
batteries.
does it make our creators' jobs easier? Does it allow them to do things that they've never done before? And then on the player side, most of our AI investments today are all around safety and how we're kind of making sure our services are as safe as they can possibly be.
Safety? Safety? Are we talking about games, or are you talking? What are we talking about? Safety?
The bishop! The bishop! The bishop!
Safety? Does that sound like fun? He's asking about PSSR to enhance games to get the features that you're getting with the Pro, of getting higher resolution with better performance within the system. Phil Spencer goes and talks about batteries, and he's talking about their AI, what for the players is for safety.
And we'll continue doing that. Like, it's, if we can make creators' lives easier and they can do things they've never done and make our services more, we'll continue doing that. Like,
Wait,
it's,
Phil, what
if
was
we
that
can
again?
make
I want to hear about how the AI for the
kind of making
players.
sure our services are as safe as they can possibly be. And we'll continue doing that. Like,
What was that again?
we're kind of making sure jobs easier. Does it allow them to do things that they've never done before? And then on the player side, most of our AI investments today are all around safety and how we're kind of making sure our services are as safe as they can possibly be. And we'll continue doing that. Like, it's, if we can make creators' lives easy.
Basically, Phil, you got nothing. Thank you for your answer. Next question. You're not doing any AI. There's no, and what you gather out of this is that they're not doing anything right now. There's no innovation in the console space. That's what people are looking for. Patreons are asking Dustin, Xbox fans, people that grew up with the console, hey Phil, PlayStation Pro has PSSR. Do you have any plans to implement any type of AI upscaling or DLSS or type things like that in your future hardware? He talks about battery life, and their AI is for safety. Oh shit. Oh shit.
25.
It's coming.
Easier,
That means he got nothing.
and they can do things that
Batteries. For the man who uses Duracells. That's right in the chat. Sounds like there's no console. That's right, Mr. B. That's what it sounds like to me. That sounds like he ain't got gots. That's what it sounds like.
they've never done, and make our services
All right, next question, Phil. You got nothing. Xbox handheld. There
that
we
are in
go.
market today. I think it's important, the partnerships that we have with the OEMs.
Just like Phil in that size. We know when he makes a crazy face, we know what's happening. The flute of Phil, we know this. There's his eyes. The Xbox glaze.
Do you hear the bull? He plays the flute of Phil. Every turn he makes, the melody's a thrill. With a bassoon in hand and a side flute too, dragging us along through skies of PlayStation blue.
He got the glaze. He got the glaze. There's the Xbox glaze. There it is. The Phil Ness glaze. You know he's talking. Well, grinders, if you're new here, that's right, T. Harris. He looks like Arnold in Jingle All the Way. He's like this. Dustin, I'll be there. I promise. Oh, shit, Phil Ness.
25.
It's coming.
Oh, man. He's like, Dustin, Dusty Bin, I'll be there. I promise. But you know, rule of the gaming grindhouse, when Phil do that face, shit's about to go down. He's about to talk out of his ass. So get the stink face out, because he's talking out his ass right now. Here he goes. Xbox handheld, Phil Ness face. Get ready. I'll be there. I promise.
Thinking about our Xbox experience through the Xbox app, and how
Oh, shit. The Xbox app, Phil, please. That app is it hasn't been updated in goddamn 2 years.
it performs on smaller form factor controller driven devices, how we're streaming, how Game Pass shows up. It's not just on the device side, but yes, device innovation has to happen, but also our services, our UI, our games tested on those platforms, on those screen sizes, on the devices that perform at that level of performance. It's a lot of work for us to stay on top of this, but it allows more people to play the great games that are out there. And for the industry, I just think that's a critical thing for us to be focused on right now.
Nobody's using it, Phil. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. What? What are you talking about? All the shit that you just said, you have done nothing. That Xbox shit. Wait, where's Phil? Where is he? Hold on, Phil. All that bullshit he just spread. Wait a second. I knew this was going to be a long one. I know, man, I can't. Well, because it's so much fluff up your ass. Look, Phil, please. He talking about this. Look what they did. Oh, shit. Look at this. They want a survey. They want a survey from me. Look at this. Here we go. Look, we want to hear from you. Take the survey. I'm not taking any survey right now. Here we go. This is the app that he's talking. We got a lot of work to do and fix. Phil, I'm calling your ass right now. Look at this. Here's the Xbox app. Here, look at this. Look, they want me renewed. Goddamn. Here it is. This is the portable screen mode, Phil. This is the update that you put out 2 years ago. Well, let's get out of here, Phil, and let's put it in regular. Let's put it in not compact mode. Let's put it in regular bitch ass mode. Here we go. Here we go, Phil. Look at this wonderful store. Look at this. This is what we got Ninja Gaiden here. Recently added the Game Pass. Picks for you. Top free games. Oh goodness gracious. Oh goodness gracious. I don't know what we're doing there. Day one with Game Pass. That's the home screen. Right? Now let's go to Game Pass. Here's your Game Pass. Phil, you can't even control this with a controller. And here's your cloud gaming, Phil. You can't even control this with a controller. I've done this before. Here's your cloud gaming. Look at this. You can't even use a controller. And then the store, where's it take you? Look at this. Oh. Yeah, this is the app that you've been trying to fix. You can't use it with a controller at all. Thanks, Phil. You added compact mode. Here it is. Here's compact mode. How much innovation did that take? Oh, guys, you know what? It's been a lot of work. But after all these years, we're going to add compact mode. Well, what are we going to do, guys? Well, we're going to take this section over here, and we're just going to make it just show the logos. How long is that going to take? A couple of years. But after, guys, watch. Let's turn on compact mode for those small screens. See what happens and watch what happens. I'm a genius. That's it. We're done. Wrap it up, guys. What a day. What a day. We just finished. What do we do? Oh, we just removed the text from the side and said it's compact mode because that's it. So all they did was remove the text. This is what they did in all the years of this app. Oh, we're geniuses. Incredible. It's been fixed. Dude, they did that a year and a half ago. That was the last update. You click on this with a controller, you can't even search for your games. So tell us more, Phil, about that janky ass app. That's the future.
Are all Xbox games going to play?
Performance. Are a lot of work for us to stay on top of this on those screen sizes on the devices that perform at that level of performance. It's
not even
it's
a big
lot of
mode.
work for us to stay on top of this, but it allows more people to play the great games that are out there. And for the industry, I just think that's a critical thing for us to be focused on right now.
Dude, listen. It's been there. It's been years, grinders. It's been years. And they have not made a big picture mode. You can't even navigate that with a controller. And they got these handhelds coming out with 8-inch screens with no touchpads, with touch interface. And you can't even use a controller with this. I did a video of it.
Yeah, ripping the Band-Aid off on that topic while you're there. Are all Xbox games going to PlayStation someday, or will there still be exclusives? How are those red lines looking these days?
Listen to what he says here with the red line.
The red line, just to be clear, was of me responding to an answer. I sometimes gets positioned if I kind of ran out with a red lines t-shirt on. We are fine.
Oh, so the red line phrase was a response to an answer. He didn't run out there with a red line t-shirt like he's redlining. It was a response. Oh, okay.
Meaning that our games shipping in multiple platforms is a good thing for Xbox. It makes Xbox stronger. It lets us do shows like we did with Showcase with great games, give our game time teams the time they need.
So that's interesting. How does putting games on PlayStation let them have the shows like they just had?
It lets us do shows like we did with Showcase. It makes Xbox stronger. The Red Lines t-shirt on. We are finding that our games shipping in multiple platforms is a good thing for Xbox. It makes Xbox stronger. It lets us do shows like we did with Showcase with great games, give our game.
So, there it is, another Phil Ness face. So just listen to what he's saying, because I think people just gloss over it and look at this guy, man, the faces, the memes galore. Phil, 2025 we're booked. We got faces galore, thumbnails galore. Phil, please. I hit pause anytime. I got a new face. New face. This is what I got. I got freaking new face. So, putting games on other platforms. This is what he said. Putting games on other platforms allows them, first of all, makes Xbox stronger and allows them to do shows like they just had. That's what he said. Oh, man, it's got to be the glaze. The glaze! Yo, that is the glaze!
25.
It's coming.
I have an exciting life now. Breakfast to go. You're gonna love my nuts.
Phil got the glaze face. We about to update the emoji. We got Phil's glaze. Oh, shit, it's there.
I can go directly to blackness.
It is the... Oh, man. The Phil has glaze. Get in there, Phil. Come on, let's get those members. I'm gonna put the Phil face there for the Xbox glaze. We got him. We got the Xbox glaze right there. Oh shit, we got him. We don't need the lady anymore. We got Phil's glaze. Oh shit, there's the new emoji. You can vote on it. Let's get those members up. We need 90 more. I'm gonna put that glaze out there. Holy shit. I don't know how I do it, Crooked Vulture. This is why you come here live, and this is why we do this, because I have no clue what's gonna happen, but it just happens. It just happens. It's a skill that I don't know how happens. But man, this Xbox glaze. But that's what he just said. That's what he just said. He just said putting games on PlayStation and other platforms allows them to do the shows that they had and makes Xbox stronger. Kindness. How? Explain it, Phil Ness Glaze.
Game time, teams, the time they need for us to invest in platform, for us to invest in hardware. I think all of this.
For somebody who spent billions of dollars, and you got all those studios and all those games and all that IP, putting those games on other platforms allows you to have shows like this? What are you saying, Phil? What are you telling us? Do you mean that, hey, this is exactly what I think he means? Thank you, JC. I appreciate it. I'm telling you. No, let's continue, and then I'm going to tell you exactly what's happening.
This is part of what Xbox is going to be when we go forward. When you ask the question like no, I mean, there's Xbox games that have shipped that we're not going to put on other platforms. Some of the things we'll look at how they do, but you're going to see more games, not just shipping on PlayStation, shipping on Nintendo. We'll continue to support Steam the way that they ship. We want our games to be in places that people play. We think that enables us to do more on platform, do more on hardware, and it's a good system for us that works. It doesn't mean every other company's got to do it that way, but it does mean I think that measuring our progress is different than maybe we measured the progress of Xbox or a console-only platform 10 years ago. It's why we talk a lot about players. I think a lot about the hours that people play on our platform, where we're seeing growth. And this has enabled us to grow in places that we don't normally. Our fastest growing region right now is Asia in terms of players. And I think about hours. Our fastest growing hours is on cloud. It's us finding players in places that people want to go play. They want to buy a console. They want to buy a gaming desktop. Great. Our games will be awesome there. Our consoles will be a great place to play. But
yeah, throwing that console thing at the end. Like, the consoles will be great. Dude, it's such an afterthought. It is such an afterthought.
Let's let games live where players want to play them.
Boom. Not on Xbox. That's your answer right there. Exactly, JC. Not on Xbox. Is this a crazy time that he just said what he said? He just said, put our games on Nintendo, Switch, and PlayStation by name. No stutter. Clear as day. Xbox shirt telling them that he wants to put his games on PlayStation and Switch on his show his thing, future of Xbox, and he just said that. He didn't say, he called them out crystal clear. And you want to know why? And you hear, oh, the numbers. We evaluate by numbers and how many hours played and how many sandwiches eaten. But you want to know what, Phil? You've been counting that bullshit for the last half decade. And you want to know what? It doesn't make you money. See, that's the whole key here. That statement, what he just said, putting their games on, the more games on PlayStation and Switch. Do you hear what he's saying? Because I don't think a lot of people picked up on this. As for what I didn't hear, not a lot of people picked up on this, but I'm telling you right now, this is what you want to know, grinders, right now. Nintendo and PlayStation, them putting their games on there, they're doing this to save their investment and save Xbox business. This is not more people to play our games. That's the spin. It's not for that, because they have been on every device known to man for the last 10 years, since 2017, maybe even after that. Since 2017, less than 10 years, they've been having their games on iPads, Android phones, Samsung TVs, cloud everywhere. Their games have been everywhere where people on, and then they had to bend the knee and put their stuff on Steam. Right now, they are putting this stuff on Switch and PlayStation to save their investment, their Xbox brand. That is the bet. Because if you hear, he says, by putting our games there, it allows us to do this. That's the key point that you need to take away from here. This is not a strategic, everybody, he's spinning it into like everybody plays, we all win. That's bullshit. Because you want to know what? I'm going to go back to the tapes and show you how it wasn't that. It's to save their ass, to save their investment. They spent $80 billion with a whole bunch of stuff. They got all these games and they got a platform that nobody's buying and nobody's playing. That's the problem. It's like if you went out there and bought all this corn and you're like, I'm going to buy all this corn. I'm spending $80 billion of corn. But guess what? You don't have anybody who wants to buy the corn. It's supply and demand. Now you have a stock full of corn that nobody wants to eat. What are you going to do? And that's what they have. They have all this IP. They got all these studios. They got all these people making games. The problem is the platform that they have right now, Game Pass, nobody's growing in Game Pass. He said it before. It's not growing. They won't buy the games. He needs to go somewhere else because you've been there for 7 years. You didn't just start cloud last year. You've been on cloud 2019. Yo, we're talking years, Phil. You've been on everything. And you would love to put Game Pass on a Switch and PlayStation, but they won't let you. Remember? They make it hard for you to be Xbox. So you putting your games on PlayStation and Switch, specifically what you just said, allows you to do things like, you heard what he said, allows this. Look, I'm going to say this again because this is very, very important. Because this is not, like, just like I said with the Activision deal, it was not a strategy. You could tell because look at their reaction after they bought Activision. Like, oh shit, how much did we spend? Uh-oh. It wasn't in the plans. They just wanted to do it as a power, as a desperation, just to kind of sustain and prolong their business. Phil knew it was his ass. If the Activision deal didn't go through, Xbox was going to go away. But what Activision deal did was it actually gave them some IP that they could hang their hats on and linger and carry out and just ride out the Call of Duty wave. It was a desperation play to save the business. Now, they spent all this money and they're like, uh-oh. It's like, how do you have this big, huge company? And they said, we spent $80 billion. And the next year, they're like, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Did nobody look at the books and go, yo, we're spending a lot of money. How are we going to get that back? Was that not in the cards when you were fighting the CMA to beg to spend $80 billion? Or I guess not. Because the next morning you woke up, Tim Stewart woke up and he's like, uh-oh. We got to get our money back. People want our money. The cake Wasn't even eating from the celebration. Everybody's like, "Oh, how we getting our money back?" And Phil's like, they don't. Game Pass is not growing. Nobody's buying. Put our games on PlayStation. Let's see how it goes." But listen to what he says here.
Places that people play their platform.
And he keeps talking about people playing, which is basically indicating that the platforms that these games are on currently are not enough. And they got to go put this where people play. And specifically, he won't say it, but it's where they buy the games.
Some of the things we'll look at how they do, but you're going to see more games, not just shipping on PlayStation, shipping on Nintendo. We'll continue to support Steam the way that they ship. We want our games to be in places that people play.
All right. Now listen to what he says next. It allows us then. Watch.
I think that enables us to do more on platform, do more on hardware, and it's a good system for us.
It allows them to do. Listen, do you hear that? Putting their games on PlayStation and Switch enables them to do hardware, enables them to do platform. Yo, what? They are trying to use them to save the business. There it is. Those are the words coming out of his mouth. Putting their, he says it right there. Do I need to turn on subtitles?
Continue to support Steam the way that they ship. We want our games to be in places that people play. We think that enables us to do more on platform, do more on hardware.
So you're telling me if you weren't putting your games on PlayStation, you weren't putting your games on Switch, you weren't putting your games on Steam, you would not be able to do much with your platform or your hardware? Exactly. A big no. Because no money would be coming in. And that's the point. They're putting their games on these platforms for it to sell, to get money coming in, so they're allowed to invest in something for Xbox. That's what he said. It's a business. And that's all it is. So this is not a whole, like, we want more people to play our games. Dude, no, because we'll go back and show exactly what they did with Starfield and exclusives. Because that wasn't the message back then. Oh, I got the tapes. But let's continue with the Phil Ness.
And it's a good system for us that works.
It's a good system for us. It allows and enables them. Grinders. You know what? Let's take this little second. Hit that like button. Let's go to some tapes. Let's go. Let's go to something right here. What did Phil say right here? Where is it? That's his future there. Starfield launches exclusively for Xbox and Windows on November 11th. Whoa, wait a second. Exclusive? Why was Starfield exclusive? It's about putting your games everywhere, and everybody plays, we all win. Let's hear about how everybody plays Starfield and we all win. Let's hear about it from them, because, you know, this is something they've been doing, right? Our games in more places for everybody to play. Let's hear it. Can't wait. Starfield. Oh, look, there it is. Windows 10 PC, cloud gaming, and Series X. No, continue. Please. Tell me more about everybody plays, we all win. Oh. Who was that? Xbox exclusive. Oh. What happened to shipping games everywhere so everybody plays, we all win? Growing the business. What happened? Did I miss something? Is this another timeline? Is this the multiverse?
It is awesome to share with you for the very first time one of the most anticipated games in the world from Todd Howard and the team at Bethesda Game Studios. A groundbreaking game. And yes, it's exclusive.
Oh, excuse me. Oh. Oh, what happened? What happened to everybody plays That's growing the business with all the bullshit he's talking about. And yes, it's an oh, really? Oh, it's an exclusive. Sarah Bond, what? And yes, what?
On Earth.
On Earth. This is the Philverse. This is the multiverse. Because I love how these people are going around going, oh, Phil's the Dalai Lama. He's saving gaming. He's breaking walls down. Dude, he built these friggin' walls. They built these walls. This is why so many people are pissed off, because they were running around exclusive. Starfield, Redfall. They bought $7 billion of ZeniMax to pull games away from other platforms. And yes, it's exclusive. Oh, wow, Phil. Oh, now exclusives don't matter. Oh, okay.
It is awesome to share with you for the very first time one of the most anticipated games in the world from Todd Howard and the team at Bethesda Game Studios. A groundbreaking game. And yes, it's exclusive. Welcome to the Xbox and Bethesda game.
It is exclusive. Shocking. And what's this? Console launch exclusive. Oh, man. Sounds a lot for somebody who
works. It doesn't mean every other company's got to do it that way, but it does mean, I think, that measuring our progress is different than maybe we measured the progress of Xbox or a console-only platform 10 years ago. It's why we talk a lot about players. I think a lot about the hours that people...
And those don't make money.
People play on our platform, where we're seeing growth. And this is enabled...
In Starfield, Indiana Jones has an exclusivity window, to be fair. Can you solidify that Starfield's staying put for the time being?
No.
Oh, shit! Oh, man! He just did the... No. Phil, what did you just do?
Indiana Jones has an exclusivity window, to be fair. Can you solidify that Starfield's staying put for the time being?
No.
No! Dusty Ben asked Phil, is Starfield exclusive? Phil says no, I said no, red bitch. It's all coming. Oh, shit! What did he say again? What did he say? What did he say? He said no. Dusty Ben asked Phil, is Starfield exclusive? Phil says no, I said no, red bitch.
There's no specific game that...
In Starfield, Indiana Jones has an exclusivity window, to be fair. Can you solidify that Starfield's staying put for the time being?
No. I'm not...
No. Like, he's so confused. He's like, no. But now, remember that little tidbit I told you to keep in the back of your head about the red line and how he said that was just a response to a question? Remember that red line? He kind of diminuized it. He's like, oh, no, that red line thing, that was just a response to a question. Watch.
There's no specific game that this kind of goes back to my red line answer. Mm-hmm. Like, there's no reason for me to put a ring fence around any game and say this game will not go to a place that it would find players, where it would have business success for us.
Business. What is business success? You mean selling the goddamn game? Business success. You mean selling your games, Phil? Just say it. They are not buying your games. The player counts, the number of sandwiches eaten, all that bullshit you've been spewing for the last 5 years doesn't mean the business is growing and making money. You need money, bitch. That's why you need to send over there. And that's why you told Dusty. Dusty Ben asked Phil, is Starfield exclusive? Phil says no, I said no, red bitch. It's all coming.
It's coming.
You need to make money. You are Phil Ness, poor man. And you need PlayStation and Nintendo to bail you out. That is what this is all about. PlayStation and Nintendo are there to bail them out because they need business, because where they put their games, it's not selling, it's not growing. Look at Janky Jones. Janky Jones didn't even make the top 10. They're not buying the games because Game Pass has cultured your goddamn console community who buys the most and spends the most to not buy games.
About console is it's your highest value gamer. It's your person who plays the most, they buy the most.
You told that customer you don't need to buy our games. And now that customer has either left because you've been blowing smoke up their ass or they're not buying the games. So now your business, you spent a lot of money. You got all this shit in your garage and you're like, yo, who's going to buy this, all this IP? We want our money back. And Phil's like, the only answer is make a PlayStation and Switch version to try to sell the game because that's the only place where Game Pass is not there. Put it on Steam. We need to make money. This is a desperation play to have Nintendo and Sony bail him out. They bought all this stuff too fast and their own platform is not growing and nobody's buying. So they need to put it where the players are and where the business will work. And I'm telling you right now, it's not going to work because those two platforms and even Steam, they have so many great games and other competition from their own exclusives, from their own, and even from China Project and all their own exclusive games, that your games now are going to be fighting with those games on those platforms. So I don't know if they're going to sell the amount that they're going to need to sell, Phil. Like, I don't think Starfield on PlayStation is going to blow up. It will sell probably, but I don't think it's going to sell a lot. And the fact that you put out some ass DLC and killed Starfield hype to begin with, that's the other problem, Phil. None of your games, Hellblade 2, none of your games carried any hype. They had pre-hype, but then when they released, they fell on their face. And the problem is now you're trying to shop with damaged goods. That's why when Spider-Man 2 goes somewhere, people are like, oh shit, that's a great game. Let me go play it. Nobody's saying that about goddamn Hellblade 2. Nobody's saying that about Redfall. Your games fell face down, ass up. That's it. And now you're trying to shop with damaged goods. Put Forza Horizon 5 on there and call it a day because that's the only one I think people care about. And Master Chief Collection. $30 DLC, Leach said.
Find is we're able to drive a better business that allows us to invest in great game lineup like you saw. And that's our strategy, right?
Do you hear this motif? Because I listen to some people talk about this thing and everybody just talks more about the games on PlayStation. Ha ha ha. Dude, that's not the answer. The answer is that this is a move. You hear what he's saying. By putting Starfield, he said no, and he brought back no red line now. He's quoting himself. Meanwhile, he made a joke earlier that red line was a response. He didn't go in there with a red line saying that. And then he goes back, well, it goes back to my red line comment. I'm not putting a wrap around anything. Everything is game. But they're laughing about just going to PlayStation. But the real point is that you hear what he's saying. They are desperate to sell their games on other platforms in order to continue the Xbox business. That's right, SSJ. They spent $80 billion and fumbled. They spent so much money that they are now desperate to get their games on other platforms for business, for it to sell, to try to get some money back. That's what this is all about. And you see, doing that allows them to invest, allows them to do things with platform, to do things with console. They have no more. It's like basically Satya said, I gave you all the money, Phil. Don't come to me and ask me for a new budget, for new console, for a handheld. Don't ask me for any more money to get Ninja Gaiden 5. I gave you the money. Now you got to make it back for us with interest. And now for you to do what you want to do. And the thing is, after all those layoffs, after shutting down those studios and canceling those games, He's still fighting for his life right now to sell these games, to do what he does, because he says it again here.
Better business that allows us to invest in great game line.
It allows us to invest. Do you hear this? Like, I just got to play it again because it's very important, because this tells you the state of their business.
We're able to drive a better business that allows us to invest in great game lineup, like you saw. And that's our strategy, right? Our strategy is to allow our games to be available. Game Pass is an important component of playing the games on our platform. But to keep games off of other platforms, we don't think is a path that that's not a path for us. It doesn't work for us. What we're doing now, we think really enables us to build the best platform for the world.
Oh, see? So what happened? There he goes. Hear that again.
It doesn't work for us. What we're doing now.
It doesn't work. Keeping their games off platforms doesn't work. Exactly what Tim Stewart and Amy the Hood told
is an
them.
important component of playing the games on our platform. But to keep games off of other platforms, we don't think is a path that that's not a path for us.
It's not a path for us. It doesn't work.
Doesn't work for us.
It doesn't work for us. Wow, grinders. Let's go to the tapes. Let's go to the tapes. Grinders. Oh, I got some tapes right here. Let's go. Keeping games off of their platform doesn't work for them. It's not for them. And actually, he stuttered a little bit, because I think he was going to say sustain, but he didn't. He said, because he was going to say sustain.
That's not a path for us. It doesn't work for us to allow our games to be available. Game Pass is an important component of playing the games on our platform. But to keep games off of other platforms, we don't think is a path that that's not a path for us. It doesn't work for us.
It doesn't work. Phil, here we go. Let me take you to Phil Ness. Xbox Phil Spencer seemingly decided to make all ZeniMax games exclusive in the 2021 meeting. Holy shit on me. Phil apparently made a big decision to make all ZeniMax games exclusive in a November 2021 meeting. This reveal came as light as part of the testimony in the FTC hearing. The gift that keeps on giving. During a CFO with Tim Stewart on the witness stand, the FTC called attention to a chat conversation in 2021 between Stewart and Matt Glorious Booty. The two were messaging about recent monthly business review meeting between Xbox and ZeniMax, where Spencer apparently made the call to make all ZeniMax games exclusive going forward, not just new IP. Stewart was asking Booty about what happened during that meeting. And Stewart said, all games going forward? Not just new IP, but all games going forward? Wow. Tim Stewart says, wow. Booty confirmed that the chat conversation, writing to Phil Spencer, told him that all titles going forward will be Xbox exclusive. The two went on to discuss how pulling a Bethesda title from PlayStation would cause profit issues in Microsoft and ZeniMax's deal model. Quote, we will have blank accountability margin issues in the deal model as we pull a huge number of PS units out of the model, Stewart said. Phil, they told you this shit won't work because the console that you have in Game Pass was not selling games. Stewart said, Phil, we can't sacrifice you pulling games away from PlayStation. This is on the road. This is in the courtroom documents. This is not no fan bullshit, bootleg Jez hanging around in the bathroom taking a piss, listening to somebody drop some news. This is facts from the goddamn emails that the quote AI security, they leaked all over the goddamn internet. He says it. Stewart's like, bitch, ain't gonna work. Phil, it's not gonna work for you. All of them. Stewart said, no, Phil. This means Xbox and ZeniMax project profits after acquisition factored in the release of some Bethesda games on PlayStation before this decision came down from Phil Spencer. When Spencer testified in the meeting, the Xbox leader claimed he didn't remember the specifics. Oh, shit, Phil Ness.
Xbox, no. Phil Ness.
He didn't know the specifics. But it's possible that we'll get more information and clarity on the cross-examination of Stewart on this case. The ZeniMax deal has been a big reference of the FTC in the last week. The agency attempts to provoke preliminary injunction. Now, grind this. They told him right there, Phil, it ain't going to work, Phil. And now he just said, what? What did you just say, Phil? From the horse's mouth?
Into playing the games on our platform. But to keep games off of other platforms, we don't think is the path that that's not a path for us. It doesn't work for us. What we're doing now, we think really
there you go. Hook, line, and sinker. Grindhouse, hit that goddamn like button. 280 people here. Hit that friggin' like button. Right under oath. These are the facts of what they said. Amy in the Hood. They said, there you go. Phil, what did you say?
Dusty Ben asked Phil, is Starfield exclusive? Phil says, no, no, no. I said, no, red bitch. It's all coming.
That's what he said. They told him, Phil, you're pulling games. Oh, remember, I'm not pulling games off. You did. And you did the same thing to Redfall too. It doesn't work for us. Exactly. Not for the gaming industry, Leech. Not for this play. And he says Sony and Nintendo, they don't have to do that. So he's not sitting here asking for their exclusive games. So there you go. So all you bitter Xbox fans going, well, Phil's giving them games. What about them giving us games? Phil's not asking for them. He just said it. He's like, they don't need to do the same thing we're doing. It just doesn't work for us. And why doesn't it work for them? Because Game Pass made them not buy games. And he put games on platforms that people don't give a shit about. Oh, am I lying? Grinders, do we need to go back to the tapes? Back to the tapes. Let's go. Let's go back to the tapes. Because I'm not lying. Let's go back to the tapes. Let's go back, Phil. Tell me what's going on, Phil. Testified. Oh, here we go. Testify. Listen to what Phil said about cloud. Tell me why it's not growing. Phil Spencer, under oath. Time focused on defining relevant marks as part of the job affair. In a relevant market for a specific case, the FTC put forth significant efforts on a couple of specific relevant markets. PlayStation, Series X and S, and not Switch. Xbox has argued that its third place behind PlayStation and Switch, and Activision acquisition will help them bolster in weaker markets. Remember, Nintendo and Sony were beating them so bad that Microsoft tried to leverage them as competition, and you say Activision was going to help them compete. They were using them like, oh, they're going to help us compete.
Whatever your name is,
we suck.
Get ready for the big surprise.
Welcome, Josh, to the Grindhouse. We suck. Remember, they were using Activision so they could compete. They're in third place. They suck. Remember? Yeah. They wanted all this to help them. They were using it. And then, on top of that, where is it? I have that other one. Where's that other one? All IP going forward. Doesn't view Starfield. Jim Ryan himself. Crying Ryan. Crying Ryan said, I don't like it, but I fundamentally have no quarrel with it. When asked how he felt about Starfield skipping PlayStation and being exclusive, he says, I don't like it, but I don't view it as anti-competitive. Because Sony does the same thing. They have exclusives like, okay, well, Microsoft has exclusives. So Jim Crying Ryan wasn't crying. He was like, yeah, I just don't like it. I don't like them pulling shit off. But there's another part here. And let me see. There was another part here where he said about cloud gaming that it just doesn't work on a small screen. There's another thing he said. He said it doesn't work on a small screen. Cloud gaming.
And so is Yoshi, which is great. Yeah.
Now you hinted.
Let's go get to some more. Let's see.
Enables us to build the best platform for the world's best games, because the world's biggest games are available in multiple places. And more creators are asking us, how do we stay connected when our game might be playable in all these different places? And we want Xbox to be absolutely the platform that enables that. We think that makes us unique. Most of the other platforms out there are single platform on single device, whether that's PC, whether it's mobile, whether it's a console. And we want Xbox to be a platform that enables creators across any screen that people want to play on.
I hear you. That makes absolutely perfect sense to me. I do think that some fans are a little concerned about, how should I say it, Xbox losing its identity maybe? What would you say to address those concerns from longtime fans?
Well, one, I hear them, right? I'm pretty active in our player base, and I'm active in the community. I listen. I think our identity will continue to evolve, which it frankly always has. But when I hear concerns about, is my library of games safe? Am I still going to be able to play the games? And I think over the years, I'm proud of the commitment we've shown to respect.
That's a big problem, Phil. I have over 400 games on Xbox. And if you decide to skip town and now bring an overlay to Windows, what happens to the games that are not cloud enabled, Phil? That's the question that needs to be answered, because you are definitely de-emphasizing the console. And people have libraries up there. You talk about back compat. Name me one 360 game that works on PC. Phil? People went back and bought digital versions of 360 games because you hyped up back compat while you had no goddamn games. And people were buying 360 games digitally. Where are those games in your Windows 10 store? Do they work? Are they cross-play? Are they platform? Are they cross-save? Phil? You got a lot of work to do. This is the problem. And this is what I've been saying. This vision is all, how are you, like, shit that you are trying to talk about is got to be years away, because you were talking about this stuff years ago and it's still not here. People's libraries are not compatible on PC. There are some Play Anywhere games, but not all of them will play anywhere. It's pick and choose. 360 games don't migrate over. You got 50 games of buy and stream. 50. People got 500. Oh, we got to work with publishers. And publishers are not going to want people to just bring their shit with them. They want them to buy it again, remastered. But Phil, the vision that you're talking about is eons away, because this vision was something you mentioned 7 years ago and it's still not there. People's libraries, you hear them. Look at that Xbox app. It took you years to put a compact mode on it, and all it does is remove the text. People's libraries are in jeopardy because you are disregarding the console. You're talking about all this overlay and the handhelds and shit. Nobody wants to hear that shit. And if you're telling me it's a Windows ARM processor with some Xbox app overlay, what about the library of games that we have? Where do those go? 450 games. Are you going to put it all on the cloud? Because you got to get to work then. You got some work to do now. Like, shit. 50 games ain't going to cut it. Buy and stream. What about people's legacy of libraries over the 20 years? And the problem is that you had back compat. You made people go backwards. You could have cut off the 360, but instead you used 360 back compat as a cushion. A program that you said you were going to bring back someday, and you never did, because it wasn't in the cards. Because you made people go backwards to buy 360 games because you weren't releasing games, and people were now using back compat to pad their time while waiting to E3. But now you got people with all these 360 games. Can they bring them with them to this new Windows handheld future that you got bullshit? You say about the biggest games. The biggest games are not yours. But I'm sorry, they are, because you spent $80 billion. So Call of Duty and Minecraft, you spent money and you bought them. You did exactly what you did with Mixer. You said, who's streaming on Twitch? Ninja, Shroud, buy them. Get them over to Mixer. You just looked at the little MPDs. You said, Call of Duty, buy it. But you yourself have done nothing to create this vision of the biggest games on every device. Oh, yes, they did, Grinders. I have to correct myself. They did. You may have remembered it. It's called Halo Goddamn Infinite. Yes, that one.
25.
It's coming.
They tried. Halo Infinite everywhere. Free to play Halo. That was their attempt to have a game be on every device. And free, and everybody's playing, and everybody's saving, and everybody's doing this shit. It was the one game they didn't buy off store shelves like a Minecraft or a Call of Duty, which was already everywhere to begin with. All Phil had to do is sign the check and go, oh, we're everywhere now. You done nothing. You did nothing to make Call of Duty be on every device. You did nothing to make Minecraft be everywhere. Instead, you took Minecraft and made sure it worked on your Azure server bullshit. Same thing now you're dealing with Call of Duty, and Call of Duty's still on Google Cloud. But Halo Infinite was your attempt to do this game everywhere. And what happened? You couldn't deal with the battle pass. You had seasonality issues, content issues, balance, all these friggin' issues. And the game suffered so bad you had to gut Bonnie Ross, get rid of the studio, shut them all down, turn them all into Halo Studios, and go to a new engine. Good job, Phil, on your vision of putting your games everywhere, and the most played games are on every device. Yeah, well, that was your contribution, Halo Infinite.
Great Circle is coming out this December.
And then more about games everywhere. Grinder, he talking new. This is what I mean. He would sit there and listen. In a bubble, the Philness comes over you. Pause. If you just watch this in a bubble and say, like, oh, wow, I hear him. Oh, yeah, I understand. That sounds good. But the problem is that he's been saying this shit since 2017. And it's just the same tune. Content is king. Here we go. Back to the FTC trial. In a cross-examination, he realized that content is king. And Phil Spencer Sear, remember cloud? It's growing. It's growing. Cloud is growing. Cloud is growing. Well, there you go. Phil quote. A strategy he admits. Here we go. One especially interesting segment was when Phil Spencer outlined Xbox's mobile strategy. Much of it we heard earlier in the year, but here Phil Spencer had the opportunity to dig in deep on how Activision would be a balm to Xbox near absence in the largest gaming segment of mobile, right? He began, though, by what was almost an apology for xCloud, where he explained had been a strategy to help Xbox compete in the mobile market, a strategy he admits that didn't work out so well to the issues such as latency, screen size, and controller support. Quote, turns out there are a lot of barriers to console games being displayed on a phone screen. Holy shit!
25.
It's coming.
Great Circle is coming out.
Xbox, no. Phil does. I have an exciting life now. Breakfast to go. You're going to love my nuts. Watch this.
What are we doing here? I said this shit years before. Quote, turns out there's a lot of barriers to console games being displayed on a phone screen. It doesn't work. Cloud gaming is not working. Cloud sucks. It's not growing. You got to be kidding me. The words came right out of my mouth. Our solution here is not customer led. It's led by what we have and a hope. I don't like this, but I'm not. This is what Phil said. Our solution is not customer led, really. in an email. He said, it's led by what we have and a hope. I don't like this, but I'm not smart enough to come up with anything else. If I ask mobile gamers what they want, they won't tell me that it's to play Halo on their phone with a Bluetooth connection to an Xbox controller. That's probably as far as for what they want on their phone as anything. Also, they also don't pay for any games. All the mobile games are free to play. So even the business model around our games that mobile players don't want is wrong. Holy shit on me, grinders. There he goes. And he said he's not smart enough. On top of that, too.
Xbox, no. Phil, that.
He said it right there. They don't want to play Halo on a phone with a Bluetooth controller with latency. The cloud sucks. And people go, oh, this is just a ruse. Dude, he was under oath. He told you how bad he sucked. And guess what? After they closed the deal, we're seeing right here with our own two eyeballs how much they suck that they need PlayStation and Nintendo to bail them out.
Expecting purchases on our platform through back compat, through cross entitlement, Xbox Play Anywhere, through cross-play, things that we've done to enable people to continue to play. So I hear that when I think about I see the investments we're making in platform and how we want Xbox to show up in multiple places and your library to be available there. When I think about buy to stream, so if I buy a game, I'll be able to stream it to devices.
Games,
like this is all about making sure that your library of games that you own on Xbox are playable in multiple places. So I'd say it's an evolution of our identity, but I believe it's an identity that this industry needs. When you think about where this industry is now and you see the challenges, the business challenges that are out there for many companies.
Phil, you're not smart enough.
And it's fun to see the work that the team is doing and how people are engaging with Game Bar and our Xbox app, our portfolio.
Oh, here we go. This is him hyping up the Xbox app.
Grow outside of the U.S. I know you mentioned China as being an interesting territory to look at, but is there any more you could talk about there?
We're seeing a lot of growth on PC. PC Game Pass is doing really well. Our Xbox app on Windows continues to evolve, and it's fun to see the work that the team is doing and how people are engaging with Game Bar and our Xbox app, our portfolio. We made the decision, as you know, years ago that our first party would ship both on Xbox console and PC day and date. And for the most part, we've been able to deliver this, a couple kind of anomalies, but we've done that over the years. So we're seeing a lot of growth in cloud, a lot of growth in PC. Our first party is doing a great job. And when you look back, we just had the biggest COD release we've ever had. It's with all the players that we have. Indiana.
The biggest COD release we have ever had. Dude, it was the first time you released COD. Holy shit, Phil.
Jones. And I was looking at Indiana Jones play on cloud and seeing it's like one of our top games that were streamed. Players were playing that way. And I just think, how awesome is it that we can build games and they get played by millions and millions, if not tens of millions of people.
I want to know why people stream Janky Jones. It's probably because they want to test it out the jank before they wasted downloading it. That's what he says majority of people use the cloud for, to try out games before they download it. That's probably why Janky Jones was streamed the most, because people were probably sampling it going, yep, I'm not wasting time downloading this.
Places that maybe 5 years ago we wouldn't have envisioned, but now it's become a reality. So when we look at global markets, we want to map to how the market dynamic it is. We don't have one solution for every market. That's not us. You don't have to go buy a console in order to become an Xbox, a member of the community in these markets. And people are responding. They're playing on PC, they're playing on cloud, and they're playing on console. For those that want that, we're going to continue to do great work on console and continue to make sure that experience is top notch.
Do you see the market going more in that direction, just as an anecdote? Because you're talking about releasing basically anywhere the players are. Some people are still doing traditional models, but the industry is making $300 million games now, and they're looking for new revenue growth sectors. Where do you see the games industry, not just Xbox, but the games industry going with that regard?
It's already there. And I know they're not always the games that all the community talks about, but I see the most played games on the platform. And when you look at the most played games, you're looking at games that are available on any screen from the creators. If you think about a Fortnite, you think about a Roblox, a Minecraft, a Call of Duty, a Genshin, like you look at these games and they have tremendous success because they're available anywhere, from small screen to big screen. I'm able to log in and play the games that I want to go play. And those are the games that are at the top of revenue and the top of players on every platform. It have been for a while. I remember it was a few years ago, I made some comment about single player games not having the same impact that they used to have. And I got a bunch of, kind of grief for that. But what I was just saying is I love playing single player games. I love the fact that in our showcase, every one of those games is a single player game. Beginning, middle, and end. I can go.
Oh my God.
Again, in regards to Halo, and they're wondering
He's just fraud.
is the value proposition to owning, say, an Xbox console or being in the Xbox ecosystem.
Here we go.
You're going to be able to play your games that you buy with us in many different places. Your state, your save game. Like, quick story, a friend of mine who I...
So that's what being an Xbox fan is. Why buy an Xbox? He's saying for save states. Why buy an Xbox for save states?
Again, in regards to Halo, and they're wondering what is the value proposition to owning, say, an Xbox console or being in the Xbox ecosystem.
Jesus.
You're going to be able to play your games that you buy with us in many different places. Your state, your save game. Like, quick story.
So, Phil, there's just 50 games. If I buy a game that's not in Game Pass, I can't play that everywhere. It has to be play anywhere. It has to... I have to... And also, if I buy a console, why... If you... Listen, if you buy a console to play a game, why is the benefit of that console that I could play it not on the console? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? The benefit of owning a console is that your saves up on other platforms. Then why? What kind of logic is that? Buy an Xbox because you could play the games everywhere. That's what he just said.
If she's
I don't care about your friend. Again,
in regards to Halo, and they're wondering what is the value proposition to owning, say, an Xbox console.
What is the value proposition to own an Xbox console? And Phil Spencer says your saves go with you and you can play on other devices.
Or being in the Xbox ecosystem.
You're going to be able to play your games that you buy with us in many different places.
How is that a value to the console? Phil, what do you have on the box? Buy the Xbox console, you don't have to play here? That's the benefit? He's telling you right there, listen, it is just a matter of time. I think it's already been done. The public, the general public, are going to take this news and just go, Xbox is done. And it is going to plummet sales even further. And it's done. The market's, and this is, we're all like listening to this and we're in this and we're like listening to this stuff. But listen, the general market has spoken already. You see it in the NPDs. You see it in the sales. You see it in their financials. People have no reason to buy an Xbox. And now, the fact that we're seeing now just the whole slate's going to PlayStation and Switch, he just said it. That's all people need to know. Xbox games are going to PlayStation. Now, they're not lining up waiting for Xbox games, so they'll go buy a PlayStation knowing that anything that Microsoft makes will eventually go to PlayStation. And there you go. The same reason why people buy PCs go, eventually some of those console games will come to PC. There's no reason to own an Xbox. And he doesn't say exclusives, which is crazy because the benefit to owning a console is cross saves and playing your game elsewhere.
Your state, your save game. Like, quick story, a friend of mine who I work with, she's younger than I am. She never played the Gears game. So we're going through and playing Gears from started on 1. We're now on 3. They're all co-op. So we're playing together. And, the simple thing like logging in and seeing my save game from 2011 kind of populate.
Dude's excited about it. He's hyping up cloud saves 2025.
I still get to go play you know, like the experience that you're going to have on Xbox is we respect your progress on our platform, and the games that you own with us, we're going to make available in more places, whether it's buy to stream and you can stream to the devices that are near you on console or PC. Like that, I think that's our value proposition of Xbox. And on the hardware side,
that's the value proposition of Xbox, is that they honor your progress. Holy shit. Like, what the... Who is buying... listen, who is buying a device to not play on that device? Do you understand, like, the craziness here? Oh, shit, another Phil Ness face. Who is going to a store buying... Like, who's going to go buy a $500 piece of hardware that plays games and then go... Oh, the benefit of this is that now, if I go play on something besides this, the game, like, so that means in order to have the benefit of the console, you need to buy a PC, a handheld, play on your phone. You need to do all that shit in order to enhance the reason for owning the console. That's his justification. That is the true Xbox Glaze. Xbox Glaze!
I have an exciting life now. Breakfast to go. You're going to love my nuts. Watch this.
I'm in shock. It's not even the games anymore. It's like your progress across devices. Phil, I just bought a $500 console, hooked it up to my TV, and the benefit you're saying is that you're going to honor my progress if I go play somewhere else. What the fuck? What does that make sense? That makes no goddamn sense.
Want us to innovate and make the hardware the differentiator. Like, we've got into this space where the differentiation on the hardware has gone down, and it's really been locked games that you've tried to make the identity of the hardware. I love when I see handhelds, when I see kind of unique things that hardware manufacturers do, and I want our hardware to compete on power and on innovation. So let's have our platform continue to innovate with services and the hardware work that we're doing, whether it's control, whether it's power, mobility, whatever it is that we're focused on. And
so he does not want the games to define the console. He wants the console features. Phil, do you talk about what you mean? Because that's what all you have been doing for the last goddamn 6 years. Telling us about teraflops. Well, the console is 10 teraflops. That means it could do this, this, and this. The Hovis method and high velocity architecture and all this bullshit. You've been selling the console, but you never had the software to take advantage of those things. So you're saying you want the hardware to define itself by the features it has. What good is it if you don't use them, you dumbass?
Power and on innovation, we're going to make available in more places, whether it's where the differentiation on the hardware has gone down, and it's really been locked games that you've tried to make the identity of the hardware.
Oh, wait, games have been identity of the hardware, Phil? Please. Let's go to the tapes. Grinders, back to the tapes. Here we go.
To Game Pass.
Uh-oh, here we go, Phil. Yet another one. What are we saying? The games define the hardware, and now you want the hardware to define itself? Phil, why don't you tell us about exclusives again? Here he is at the beach.
But why is Microsoft making future Bethesda games like the next Elder Scrolls exclusive to Game Pass?
One of the reasons people pick different consoles is looking at the exclusive games that are available. If you think about Nintendo, a platform I love. I mean, people think of Zelda, Mario. These are iconic franchises that are available on those platforms. For us, we have franchises like Halo and Forza and things that people love, and Sony has their own set of exclusive franchises. So as we're shipping things, we will definitely have new exclusive franchises coming to Xbox, there's no doubt.
But why is Microsoft making future Bethesda games like the next Elder Scrolls exclusive to Game Pass?
One of the reasons people pick different consoles is looking at the exclusive games that are available. If you think about Nintendo, a platform I love. I mean, people think of Zelda, Mario. These are iconic franchises that are available on those platforms. For us, we have franchises like Halo and Forza and things that people love, and Sony has their own set of exclusive franchises. So as we're shipping things, we will definitely have new exclusive franchises coming to Xbox.
And what was that again, Phil?
we're going to make available in more places, whether it's buy to stream and you can stream to the devices that are near you on console or PC. Like that, I think that's our value proposition of Xbox. And on the hardware side, I want us to innovate and make the hardware the differentiator. Like we've got into this space where the differentiation on the hardware has gone down and it's really been locked games that you've tried to make the identity of the hardware. I love when I see handhelds, when I see kind of unique things that hardware manufacturers do, and I want our hardware to compete in.
He just told you why people choose hardware, because of the games that could be played on that hardware. How? And this is where I even said on Friday, how is this future even successful for them? You want to compete. I like the investment. I look forward to this. Remember what we used to do. Dude, this is all hyperbole. It's all bullshit. There is no direction here. He just told you. Phil, say it again.
But why is Microsoft making future Bethesda games like the next Elder Scrolls exclusive to Game Pass?
One of the reasons people pick different consoles is looking at the exclusive games that are available. If you think about Nintendo, a platform I love. I mean, people think of Zelda, Mario. These are iconic franchises that are available on those platforms. For us, we have franchises like Halo and Forza and things that people love, and Sony has their own set of exclusive franchises. So as we're shipping things, we will definitely have new exclusive franchises coming to Xbox, there's no doubt.
But why is Microsoft making future Bethesda
on power and on innovation? So let's have our platform continue to innovate with services and the hardware work that we're doing, whether it's control, whether it's power, mobility, whatever it is that we're focused on. And let's have our games reach you as the person who's investing your time and your money in our games wherever you want to go play. I think that's our identity going forward.
I think that's our identity. That's it. They are third party. That is it. This is not just because they put a game on another device. The mentality of what he's saying is that, hey, we're going to make some shit, but our games are going to be everywhere. And he's talking like an EA or an Ubisoft. That's it. That's it. But what's crazy, what drives me insane and grinds my gears is how he comes out here acting like this has always been the vision. This is us. This is us. And it's like Dusty Bin is asking you the questions because that is not you. You were just sitting there at the beach telling people choose the reasons are exclusive games. And you want the hardware to be the differentiator. What are you talking about? That's all you've done. The Xbox One X, the 6 teraflops. But you never had the games to take advantage of that. The Series X, the most powerful console, you never had the games to take advantage of that. So you got a bunch of suckers buying hardware because of its, quote, capabilities. But you don't have the software to support those capabilities. It's like Sony coming out here going, the DualSense vibrates and shit. Oh, that's great. I'm going to buy it because it vibrates. That's the differentiating factor. But no, Sony had Astrobot. Sony had games, all the games that utilize that controller. So the hardware is utilized by the software. You can't just sell hardware because, oh, look, it has a flip screen. Phil Spencer, are you Lenovo? Are you HP? Are you Compaq? Like, are you a hardware guy that's like, yo, I'm going to make a screen that flips. People will buy it because I got some gimmick. Look, my screen's a touch screen and flips around. I'm going to make a dual screen. Oh, my goodness. Look at me. You're just trying to buy hardware gimmicks. But you are a publisher. You have all this software. Your software got to take advantage of the hardware. Nobody's going to buy it. So this is the death of the console. It's over. They could keep making it all they want, but listening to this, you know that he's just going to put it out there like a goddamn appendix, a vestigial organ of the former days, and only suckers are going to buy it. And unfortunately, the way they're moving, I don't think all the games on the Xbox console will be made available on PC when they make this leap into ARM and the Xbox app. Because they're moving like a goddamn snail. 50 games, buy to stream. What about the 360? What about the 450 games not in Game Pass that people have bought over the years? What happens to those games when you go to other devices like a phone and a tablet and a Windows handheld? They go kablooey. Goodbye. You have a lot of work to do, and I don't think they're being honest in people's old libraries because they are killing the software. They're killing the hardware without a place to go. And I think it's bullshit.
And it's working for us now, and I love the innovation that we're able to bring.
I love the innovation. I love what the teams are working on. Oh, please.
Doing that.
I've had this crazy theory.
And then on top
there.
of this.
Yeah, in a way, I think about it in almost exactly the opposite.
The Series
clauses
S
with the Xbox
people
Series
skipping
X,
them.
those sort of requirements. Some developers have brought up difficulty optimizing for the Series S. Can you tell us any more about plans there?
Yeah, in a way, I think about it in almost exactly the opposite way right now. With the rise of handheld PC.
Dude, he's a goddamn idiot. He is a friggin' idiot. Dustin just said with developers saying that they're struggling with the S and I'm glad he asked his question. He has some good questions, Dusty Bin. He could do this for a couple of minutes before he goes back to making cookies. And I got the links to his interview too in the chat if you want to watch the whole thing, which is pretty much watching it, but I think I want to go to the other ones. But like, he thinks of it the opposite. Phil, you just said you want the best games and the biggest games to be played on your thing. Wukong is not there. A lot of games are skipping you. There's no performance modes on the Series S. Those get skipped. So it's not the best place to play. It's not the ideal place to play all the best games. And you're getting skipped. And he goes, I think the opposite. Because of portable devices. Holy shit.
And even
Xbox,
the introduction so far of the Switch 2. As developers, we're building on more device specs, from lower powered, because they're battery powered devices, all the way through things that plug into the wall. I actually think we have a real advantage because we've been targeting S for quite a while, that our games have been built and they're portable across many different specs.
Oh, God.
So when we look at something like a Steam Deck or a ROG Ally or something, we've got this S version of the games that's more tailored to the device specs of a lot of devices that frankly are getting introduced right now.
Oh, man.
And I think that helps us. And frankly,
Phil, you funk. You goddamn idiot. Exactly, comically inclined. People don't make games for the ROG Ally. Nobody's making games tailored to a Steam Deck. People are making games and then you gotta pull all the goddamn resolutions and all that shit down to get it to run. PC's giving you the option for this. Nobody's building a game to the spec of an S. That's why the S is missing performance modes. Oh, and you want to hear something else? Get ready. He's not done yet. Where the hell? Holy shit, I hear myself. Where's this thing? This one, this tells you how clueless this guy is. Yo, he's a friggin' idiot. Holy crap. Like, I don't want to be saying names, but my God. He's thinking the opposite. Are you kidding me? They're skipping games. Games are getting delayed because of the S, Phil. And you're like, well, games like the Steam Deck, you have a spec out there. What spec? It's a neutered version that's scaled down to run on a portable battery device, Phil. The Series S is plugged into the wall. It's not running on 15 TDP. The Series S is plugged into the wall. Why the hell would people be building for the Series S to work on a portable 30 watt max powered plug-in? What the hell are you talking about?
One customer.
Holy crap. Wait, this. Wait a second. I got him. Where is it? Indiana? Where is this? Is this the one? Wait a second. I gotta see this.
Great Circle's the biggest mystery in all.
Where we go? I gotta find this one. This is Swift Foundry Series S and X. I just don't understand it. I'm just like ludicrous. That's why the S exists now, so they could. That's what I'm telling you. That portable. I'm telling you right now, that next Xbox is going to be some ARM janky Windows on ARM bullshit because they want to get Windows ARM with Copilot AI, and it's going to have some Xbox app certified tramp stamp over it. And it is going to be a friggin' Frankenstein of a device because it's going to be this. There's going to be all this bullshit to it. And they're trying to force ARM. They're going to probably have Windows 12, and that Xbox overlay will probably be enhanced in Windows 12, and they're going to use it for Windows 12. That's why they keep talking about this stuff. Because remember, it's a Windows 12 year, so they got to hype up a reason to upgrade to their operating system because they canceled all the support for the legacy one, Windows 10, the last operating system you should buy. Well, they dropped support for it this month. It's done. That's it. No more support for the Windows 10. No more updates. That was supposed to be the last operating system you buy, Windows 10, remember? Yeah, well, they're going to try to get you now with Windows 12, and I bet you this Xbox overlay is going to be the reason for it. Baldante with the 20. Shout to the Baldante. Thank you so much, man. He goes, the other vestigial organs, X-Hawk, or you mean X-Hawk-Tur, Pastor True Virgil, and Aaron must be shriveled up into their sacks. Oh, shit.
I have an exciting life now. Breakfast to go. You're going to love my nuts. Watch this.
Oh, man, they're all shriveled up. That's right. That's right. I haven't seen, ever since we renamed him X-Hawk-Tur, he hasn't come back. I don't know what happened. He doesn't like getting spit on, I guess.
I can go directly to Blackness.
But guess what? Phil's not done. He's not done with the goddamn bullshit. Here he goes.
The scalability of engines today allows them to scale from ray trace enabled multi-$1,000 graphics card on desktop PCs, all the way through a handheld battery powered device. So for me, S has been helpful in our portfolio. And I'm playing Indiana Jones on the S and it looks great. So it's.
Okay, Phil, here we go. He's playing Indiana Jones on the S and it looks great. Holy shit. Oh man, Phil, not like this. Phil, not like this. Oh my God. He says he's playing, it looks great. This guy got a. Yo, Indiana Jones is blurry mess on the S. I'm playing it on the. Oh, holy shit. Phil, look at this. Oh, no, not like this, Phil. Oh, my God. It looks great, he says, this goddamn clown.
Xbox, no. Phil, that.
Oh, my God. He's playing Janky Jones on the S, and it looks great. Oh, shit. Phil Spencer. This is too much.
Like a blind man at an orgy, I was going to have to feel things out.
You motherfucker. Holy shit. My God.
Like a blind man at an orgy, I was going to have to feel things out.
Phil Spencer. I need to hear this again.
We
need a visual with this.
Got this S version of the games that's more tailored to the device specs of a lot of devices that frankly are getting introduced right now. And I think that helps us. And frankly, the scalability of engines today allows them to scale from ray trace enabled multi-$1,000 graphics card on desktop PCs, all the way through a handheld battery powered device. So for me, S has been helpful in our portfolio. And I'm playing Indiana Jones on the S and it looks great. So it's definitely capable of playing current generation games in a great way. But most of your games that are going to be out there are going to be supporting these different devices. And the S spec of what it is actually maps pretty well to the devices that we're seeing introduced right now. So I think it actually is an important design point for teams going forward, that kind of power performance mix that you see in the Series S.
Yeah, it is close.
Phil Spencer compared a device that you plug into your wall and put it on a 4K TV. Anybody got lower than 50 inches, 40-inch TV, compare that to a portable 8-inch screen running on battery power with 15 watts. And he's saying the S is fine. Oh, my God. Dude, I got a fucking stomach ache. This is this is overdose of Phil Ness. This is a goddamn overdose. I don't know if I'm up for this tonight. I don't know. This is overdose. I got OD'd on goddamn Phil Ness. This is just talking out the ass. Phil, you're drunk. Go home.
Xbox no, Phil does. Well,
Dusty Ben asked Phil, is Starfield exclusive? Phil says no, I said no, red bitch. It's all coming.
Jesus. The game night with the 10, he goes, Phil, we love our platform and our hardware, but we're going to put our games on other platforms. That's like me saying I love my wife, but I want to sleep around. Holy shit, there it is.
I can go directly to Blackness.
The game night with the 10 with the facts. Exactly. We love our Xbox, but we got to sell our games because they ain't doing shit. Oh my God. This interview is giving me a fucking headache.
To the Steam Deck, close. But
Nick, what is that? That's the song. That's Phil Spencer.
Dusty Ben asked Phil, is Starfield exclusive? Phil says no, I said no, red bitch. It's all coming.
Yeah, and the Steam. Well, anyway, I don't mean to go crazy.
Yo, Dusty Ben he's even loaded Phil Ness. He's like, goddamn, Dusty Ben got the goddamn Xbox, but he got the glaze going on too. He's like, oh shit. He's like, Phil Spencer, I can't take any more of this. Basically, this was Phil Spencer's interview. This was Phil Spencer's interview right here. This emoji. Thou shalt not, I think. I love what we're doing. I like the investment. I see this is this, and we need what they got. And I love what we're doing. I love our hardware team, and we got work to do. I'm learning. I'm still doing this thing. I think we'll see this. I really think it's good for us. Yo, that's how he's talking. I'm not even, he's talking.
There. Let's talk about the AA.
No double A's.
Do you have more coming to reveal at a later date?
We do, and
we all got more comments. That's it. Phil Spencer. Now let's go to some tapes, Phil. Let's go to some tapes here because I want to hear. Well, before we go to these guys, before we go to this, before we go to this one, I got to get this. Whoa, what the hell's this? That's not what I wanted. This one. Before we go over there. Phil Spencer, let's go back to some of the tapes. Let's go back to some of the tapes of how Phil Spencer says about exclusives and all this other stuff. Well, let's go. Phil, why don't you go tell us a little bit to our good friends here about, here he is, Phil Spencer. Tell us from the heart how you feel about Starfield, because what did you do?
Dusty Ben asked Phil, is Starfield exclusive? Phil says no, I said no, red bitch.
At Xbox Game Studios. Today, for the first time ever, we have focused on showing you games that you can play over the next 12 months.
Oops.
Today's show celebrates a diverse lineup of global game creators of all sizes who bring with them unlimited potential. Games from these creators will be coming to Game Pass every single month, including Naraka Blade Point, As Dusk Falls, A Plague Tale Requiem, Pentiment, Persona 5 Royale, Somerville, and Scorn, just to name a few. And we start 2023 with the launches of some of the most anticipated titles from the teams at Xbox and Bethesda. Redfall, Minecraft Legends, Starfield, Forza Motorsport, and more. This has been an incredible year as we achieved record growth across console and Game Pass, with millions of people playing our games every single day. And we have you to thank for that. Whether that's new players joining us through Xbox Cloud Gaming, or our longest fans playing on Xbox and PC, we could not have done this without you. A year ago, we welcomed the talented studios at Bethesda Softworks to Xbox. Their teams have been hard at work, bringing their franchises to Game Pass, shipping updates to their games, and building new experiences for people playing our games every single day. And we have you to thank for that. Whether that's new players joining us through Xbox Cloud
on the mysterious moon.
Celebrate this without you. A year ago, we welcomed the talented studios at Bethesda Softworks to Xbox. Their teams have been hard at work, bringing their franchises to Game Pass, shipping updates to their games, and building new experiences for you to enjoy. We know that everyone has been eager to see Starfield. Our show today has highlighted gameplay, so it's only fitting that we end it with an extended first look at one of the most anticipated games in Xbox history. This is Starfield.
Is that a deal?
No, I keep losing at deals, and I don't want to make a deal anymore. I am leaving, and you can't stop me. I'm packing my bags.
But it's also, and you wrote in your Xbox Wire post last week as well, that the work has started.
Games and where we are and where the roadmap.
In your Xbox Wire
When's Hexen
post.
coming back? That's what people want to know.
I think that's what you want to know.
Might be one of my questions. Might
Yes,
be.
but that is part of it. But it's also, and you wrote in your Xbox Wire post last week as well, that the work has started on bringing Activision Blizzard King games to Game Pass and other platforms. And I think like speculation and wish lists have been running wild ever since last week. So I'm sure you've seen all of that. But what does that mean exactly, especially when we think about our last acquisition in 2021 with Bethesda? There was a fairly immediate drop of back catalog games. So I think people are looking to that and wondering, is that kind of how the format is going to go now, or what does that actually look like?
And I think rightfully so, right? When we finished Bethesda, there was this great moment. We were able to put a bunch of the back catalog games in, celebrate their history. The truth of the matter is, with Activision Blizzard King, that the regulatory process took so long. And frankly, there was a lot of uncertainty in that process up until really a week before we closed, or the week of, when the CMA finally came down to their decision, that we weren't able to get in and work with it's mostly Activision and Blizzard in this case, on that back catalog work. So now that the deal is closed, we're starting that work, but there is work. And I think the Activision Twitter handle, or X handle, whatever we're calling it, did put out a statement. I can't call it X, but Twitter handle did put out something that talked about 2024. I think that's accurate. There's no. I would love it if there was some kind of secret celebration drop that's coming in the next couple of weeks. There's not. It's definitely when we think about the new games that are there, I would be straight with people, right? If we were going to put them in the subscription this year, I would tell people. And I know there'll be some disappointment about that. This acquisition is definitely long-term.
So that was 2023. Activision games coming to back catalog. That was the end of 2023. He said targeting 2024. Hey, Phil, we're in 2025. No Activision games in the back catalog.
Xbox, no. Phil does.
25.
It's coming. Instead, you're putting games on PlayStation and Switch. This is where the craziness happens. This is the people like, oh, Phil's like, I'm going to be honest with you. Nothing's coming this year. This was October of 2023. Oh, but 2024 is going to be that. They didn't do shit. Back catalog of nothing. No old Call of Duties, nothing. But instead, you get on there and go, well, we're putting our games on PlayStation and Switch. You'll see more of our... It's like, Phil, but what about all this shit? What about this? What about the promises?
So the fact that we're not hitting day one with a bunch of games dropping in to Game Pass is a little bit of a downer, but I'm very excited about the future. And I just want to be straight with people that that's where we are.
There you go. I'm very excited. I think, I would like, I'm thinking. Nothing. More wait. This is the shit that drives everyone crazy. Still, 2025, nothing. Year gone by. No mention of it, nothing. Instead, let's talk about what we need to do to survive. And now let's talk to Phil Ness again, Grinders. When 2023, when Phil had Starfield and Redfall, and he was pulling games telling people don't make the PlayStation 5 versions of Starfield. He was sitting there, legs crossed, and he had this to say. Jeff Grubb, Gaming's Mankind, here he is.
I'd love to see if I can get some insight on is what's the kind of difference in business, in terms of business? Is there a difference in the benefit that indie developers get versus, you know, a major studio like a Bethesda making a Starfield, and what is the kind of give and take that you have to, you know, factor in there? Because I imagine a smaller developer, you put them on Game Pass, naturally my thought is it raises their profile, they get more people in, and generally it's probably good for business. Whereas I'm probably wrong here, like a game like Starfield, which is a multi-million, probably billion-dollar operation.
I saw Paul's tweet.
Yeah.
I think he said $1 trillion.
Yeah, it's this $1 trillion game. Yeah, it's this $1 trillion game.
It wasn't, the budget wasn't.
Okay, so it's $2 trillion. Yeah. So it's this
Yeah.
extremely expensive game. You put that on Game Pass and it's free as well. Is it still beneficial, or are you like going, all right, we're going to take a loss on this one to raise the profile? What's the balance there? Because surely, like, putting all these major games that you're spending millions on developing, marketing, and then making that away for free, giving that away for free, and then also raising the profile of this service where you can buy it, get it for free. Well, you must be taking a hit somewhere, right?
I think everybody understands that Game Pass isn't free.
Yeah. I get what you mean.
But,
sure yeah, but like,
it's sort of the best marketing that people still say, oh, for free?
It's the cost of doing
This sucks.
That's your point. Like, well, so Game Pass is profitable, Xbox is profitable, and it's I've said sustainable. People's like, is that profitable or not?
Well, I think people get hung up on like, well, you're spending $70 billion buying something. You're making $70 billion a year, but that's not how it works.
Yeah,
that's not how it works.
But I'm going to take it back to console.
Okay.
So it's profitable. So why are we here? Why are we here, Phil? It's profitable. It's fine. It's sustainable. Then why are you putting your games on the Switch and PlayStation?
You to on them, Rob. It's not even pink. This is raw.
And Coop has delivered undercooked salmon.
And Coop, goddammit! What the hell, Phil? What the hell? What are we doing here, Phil? It's sustainable, it's profitable. Then why? This is 2023. What happened? What happened? Why do you need putting your game? We just went over. Why do you need to put your games on the Switch and PlayStation, and that will help you? I enable you to invest in console. Oh, man.
Game Pass is profitable, Xbox is profitable, and it's I've said sustainable. People's like, is that profitable or not?
Well, I think people get hung up on like, well, you're spending $70 billion buying something. You're making $70 billion a year, but that's not how.
No, but that's not how it works. Oh, well, Phil, I guess it did work that way because they said, you spend all this money, where's our money back?
It works.
Yeah. But I'm going to take it back to console.
Okay.
Back like in the olden days when
olden days.
We just did games on console, and every time we shipped a console, we pretended that Sony and Nintendo didn't exist. So anytime you looked at a game, you said, hey, you're not shipping this game on the full console base. You're excluding, let's just call it 2/3 of the market. We were like not always the same size, but let's just say we're going to go ship Halo 2, and we're not shipping it on Nintendo. We're not shipping it on Sony. Nobody ever asked me, hey, how does the P&L for this game work when you're not selling it everywhere you can sell it? But now with Game Pass,
so paradigm shift. We're just like,
and people kind of get stuck and they say, well, wait a minute, you're not selling every copy that you could sell. How can you afford to go do those games? The math is actually very, very similar. You just, for us, what you did on old school console is you said, okay, how many consoles are you going to sell because Halo 2 launches? How long will those players stay on the platform, and how many games will they buy? And does that make it more cost effective to keep the game exclusive to your platform? And it, like, let's be clear, we could have sold Halo 2 on PlayStation, and we probably would have sold a couple copies. We probably could have done the same thing on Nintendo's platform. One or two. So when I look at Game Pass, we absolutely are going to make money on Starfield, like touch wood, that's the plan. And we will grow Game Pass, and Xbox will be a better platform, both on PC and console where people play. And for us, it's about expanding our platform reach. And we think important games like Starfield will be catalysts for Game Pass growth on a lot of different platforms. But anytime you're growing the platform, there's always this trade-off with games. We are not a third-party publisher, right? We do something different with our content like Starfield, but not all the content. Obviously, Minecraft ships on other platforms, and we enjoy doing that as well.
Yeah, just
Oh, wow. You're not a third-party publisher, Phil. Do you remember that email that I was showing you where he told Tim Stewart that all the games are going to be exclusive, right? Yeah. So the foreshadowing that Phil had was this. He was betting on Starfield, just like he said. He was betting on Starfield to grow Game Pass, to make a lot of money, that they don't need to be, it could be exclusive. Yeah. What happened, Grinders? What happened? Yep. See, when he had exclusives, he was the bee's knees, man. He was Big Ball Phil running around there talking about we're not third party. We're putting this on Game Pass. It's going to grow Game. Phil, don't let me say it. You say it from the chest. Go ahead.
We absolutely are going to make money on Starfield, like touch wood, that's the plan. And we will grow Game Pass, and Xbox will be a better platform, both on PC and console where people play. And for us, it's about expanding our platform reach. And we think important games like Starfield will be catalysts for Game Pass growth on a lot of different platforms. But anytime you're growing the platform, there's always this trade-off with games. We are not a third-party publisher.
Yeah.
That's it. They're not a third-party publisher. Grinders, how long? It's so long ago. Oh, this is old. Dude, this is 2 years ago. We are this is not like Phil Spencer in the 80s. Goddamn wearing goddamn chaps and shit. Like, this is not Phil Spencer in the goddamn, Afro curls or some shit like that. Phil Spencer 70s style. This is Phil Spencer 2 years ago. This is not goddamn bell-bottom Phil. This is not Phil's in the 70s going, dudes, peace and love, man. No, this is Phil 2 fucking years ago. They're not a third-party publisher. Starfield's exclusive, bitch.
Great Circle is coming out this December.
We're not third-party. We could pull that shit off because, knock on wood, hits his head. He should have said slap the booty and just smack booty in the face. But he didn't do that. Instead, he said we could do these things because it's going to grow Game Pass. It's going to make us money. It's going to be a catalyst. And guess what? Guess what? Nope. Nope. Oh, you need the meme? Well, he can't keep getting away with this. Dude, they're not a third-party publisher. They wanted to spend Sony out of business, right, booty cheeks? Slimy platform things, Josh. That's right. And they were talking $70 billion. Activision was on the table right then. So Activision wasn't a surprise right now. They knew how much they were offering for Activision. It is not bell-bottom Phil, Brigade. This is not goddamn Phil Spencer 70s, circa 1970s. This goddamn Phil Spencer 2 years ago. And Satya lost his bonus. They're not a third-party publisher. But now he's crying to Dusty Bin. He's crying to Paris.
Is Gamertag Radio.
Buddy, this was obviously before podcasting or anything. I was just excited. I won the
before, so I won't go too long. But when we were deciding how much hardware or how much RAM we were going to put in the 360, again, great with me about the things that you see, what's questions or relationships with the publishers in Japan specifically that you're asking about. And it's taken
talked over the past year or so about more open platforms, as an example. Obviously, no red lines with some of your portfolio, things like that. And I'm leading that into this is an Xbox. In your interpretation, so it's coming from your words, what does that mean now for Xbox as you head into the future?
Yeah, I want people to be able to experience the games that we build, the services that we offer on as many devices as we can. Obviously, some of the devices out there, some of the platforms are closed. They don't allow everything that we do to show up on those platforms. The thing that I've learned, continue to learn when I'm listening to creators, not only our own studios, but other teams building games, is every creator out there wants to build a game that can find as many players as they want. And frankly, there aren't many platforms out there that try to build connections to people on so many different screens. It's almost like...
And this, I'm going to let him go. But developers out, not his own, but his own as well. But developers want to put their games on where the gamers are.
Customer.
Grinders, we see the sales. We see the breakdown of how many games sell on Xbox on that platform. How does Phil come off as he's saving anybody? They're the worst place to play. They're the lowest. People skip them because they are the lowest install base. Why would they come to you, Phil, to, I want to put my game on, have tons of people to play my game? Are you knocking on Phil Spencer's door? Grinders, are you knocking on Phil Spencer's door? JC, Miss Tennis, Josh, comedically, like you guys? Ito, are you knocking on Phil Spencer's door? You making a game. You want to put your game to the most players. Are you knocking on Phil Spencer's door? He has the lowest install base of consoles, a minus 50% year over year install base. He keeps talking about the cloud's not growing. Nothing's growing. The Xbox store sucks on Windows. Are you knocking on Phil Spencer's door going, you the guy that's going to make my game be playable everywhere? No, you're going to go to PlayStation. You're going to go to Switch with 160 goddamn install base. You're going to go to Steam. You don't need his shit. So what the fuck is Phil talking about? Who's coming to you? Oh, I want the most game people to play my games. You're the lowest common denominator of, you're bringing down the whole goddamn gaming industry. You're the lowest install base, Phil. On PC, nobody wants the Windows app. On console, you're the worst selling console. On cloud, you're $20, the most expensive cloud. NVIDIA cloud got you beat. You're the $20 cloud. The most expensive cloud subscription for gaming. Who's coming to you?
They want. And frankly, there aren't many platforms out there that try to build connections to people on so many different screens. It's almost like single platform, single device, single game. And that's kind of the history of our business. And we're really taking an approach of we want people to be able to play Xbox on many different screens. Now, not every experience will be the same. We obviously love the native experience we have on our own platform and our own hardware. And that's something that will continue for us. But like, we're not going to put walls up around where people can engage with the great games our studios are building, or where they can experience Xbox through different forms, whether it's cloud, whether it's on PC, whether it's on handheld PCs, whether it's on phones. I want everybody to be able to play on Xbox. And it does mean more of our games shipping on more platforms, not just PlayStation. We love the work that we do with Nintendo. We love what we do with Valve on Steam. And that's going to continue. We'll just continue to do more of it because what we learn is put the games first. Make sure the games can be as great as they can. We love the experience on our own hardware, our own platform, but our games will show up in more and more places, no doubt.
I love the self-love. We love our platform. Dude, does anybody else? Does anybody else love your platform, Phil? Bal Dante with the 20. Shout out to Bal Dante, man. He's getting us to that chat goal. He wants to hear that song. He wants to hear that song. Hit that like button and become a member, Grinders. Again, 90 away from the new emojis. Bal Dante with the 20. He goes, so hard to listen to Phil. I know, man. Bal, this is goddamn Phil Ness overdose. I did too much tonight. Too much. But I'm doing it for the Grindhouse. They wanted it. I'm doing it. And we might even have to do more of it. But please. This is overdose of Phil Ness. I don't think I've had this much Phil Ness in one show. This is the most Phil Ness ever seen to the humankind. So hard to listen to Phil. I hope that brain rot is not airborne. Remember, he shut down their only Japanese studio and had a critically acclaimed game that was actually innovative. Make that make sense. Exactly. And yeah, he's flying to Japan to go get Ninja Gaiden, and meanwhile he closes the one studio onto this thing that wanted to make a sequel to Hi-Fi Rush. It's about the games, right, Phil? About the games. I know. I need to take this in small doses. This is too much.
If I could follow up really quick before we go to you, Danny. So along those lines, because again, one of the concerns that I hear in the community is about your...
And that's the problem. Before I let Mr. Yelchat ask his question, this whole community, Xbox community, listen, I'm sorry to tell you, that has to go. There is no Xbox community. There's a bunch of people that remember what Xbox was. Because he is abandoning you. As an Xbox community, he's not listening to you. He's doing his own thing. Miles Morales style. It's a business sacrifice. They are protecting their investments. They spent $80 billion in a bunch of shit that they didn't even know what to do with. And now they realize that they don't have the platform that could bring back the money that they spent. That, like I just said, their cloud is not doing what it wants. It's not growing. There's too much competition. Their console is the worst of all generations. It's selling worse than the Xbox Series X, the Xbox One. And that was a disaster of a generation that Phil said he lost. We're sitting here right now, and they are at the bottom of the bottom barrel. And they are looking to the other platforms, Steam, PlayStation, and Nintendo, to bail them out, to bring in a source of revenue, to bring them the money to try to bring it back. That community, you are non-existent to him. He don't care. And the problem is that, listen, I don't want to blame people for being fans. And I think we got to stop that. I see that shit all over X. People back and forth and back and forth. Yeah, it's fun to do it back and forth. Like I got this, like the Nintendo Sega days and shit like that. But to the extremes that some of this shit goes, it's actually ridiculous. But people are fans of a brand because of the games and the identity of that brand. And brand there's a whole thing. You know, there's not one shoe. There's Reebok, there's Nike, Adidas. There's all different types of shoes. They all do the same thing. It's a fucking shoe. Oh, but I put a swoosh on it. I got my thing on it. I got branding from a celebrity on it. It's branding. It's identity. A shoe's a shoe. A car's a car. Headphones are headphones. But there's different brands. There's different features. There's different capabilities. And when you take those capabilities, if you just took a Nike swoosh and said, hey, Reebok, you could put the swoosh on yours. That's their brand. That's their business. That swoosh means something. Those games that you branded, the Gears, the Halo, the community it was built on, you are now disregarding what you built and doing what you need to do to survive. And you're hoping that those people come with you. But you are not listening to them. And these guys like Paris and Destin, they're that's why this community shit that they're trying to bring to him. This is a message to the community, and he's going to let Paris come down from the rooftops with the 2 tablets. I spoke to Phil God. This is his message. I've been touched by the Phil Ness. His message is that exclusives don't matter. Paris came down after this interview. I already saw him doing interviews. I've spoken to Phil. I've been touched by the Phil Ness gods. Let me tell you this. I bear message to the Xbox community. Phil told me on the rooftops, I'll read you the tablets. He says, thou shall not want exclusive games. Games everywhere are good. Yes, hallelujah. I've spoken to Phil, and he has given me the light. Thou shalt not want exclusives. They are bad. They are the demon. Do not make love to the demons. We've been touched by Phil. He's told me this. Thou shalt not want to play games only on an Xbox. And that's what he's been doing. He did his interview. Phil told him the message, and now Paris came down from the mountain with the tablets, and he's telling everybody on all the community, on Twitter, on Spaces, on channels, thou shalt not want exclusives. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's exclusives. This is what he's done. Do not see the demon of exclusives. I've told you this. I've spoken to him. He has told me. This is what is going on. This is the way to get to the community. It's not right. Holy Phil Ness. From the mountaintop. Thou shalt not buy games, Beldante says. Subscribe to Game Pass. That is the rightful way. $20 a month is not expensive. He has told me this. You should be happy it's $20 a month. It could be more, but he is good to us. I have spoken to him. Thou shalt be okay with having Gears go to PlayStation. It's okay. That's it. He made his rounds. But this community was built by Phil. Tramp stamps and all. Come to this community, and then you built this brand. You built this game, the identity of the brand. Just like what Paris said. He don't see Gears and Halo going like the pitchforks. Yeah, like the pitchforks. Because he said there's no reason to buy a console. Well, here's the question.
Own hardware and the future of that. Now, I know Sarabon has stated, yes, we will continue to have Xbox hardware in the future, technical leap, things like that. You've obviously talked about the handheld that is still some years away, so eventually you're going to do something like that. But there is concern in the community about, well, you're putting all these games on these other platforms. Why would I still want an Xbox? What is going to be the reason for me to want Xbox hardware when I can get that experience on another platform?
Yeah, I want people to pick hardware based on the capabilities of that hardware and how that fits into the choices they want to make about where they want to play.
The capabilities of the hardware. Is he talking about all the teraflops that are gone unused? The Xbox ray tracing, the Hovis method, Xbox resume, quick resume. What are you talking about, Phil? You're trying to sell the hardware based on features, but not the games. Let's continue. Paris has been glazed. We need that emoji. We need that emoji. I got to keep doing it.
And we want our hardware to win based on the hardware capabilities that we have.
Holy shit. Phil Spencer, did you just say what I think you said? He wants his hardware to win. When did I hear that before?
Sir, do we get to win this time?
Our console, that somehow we're going to win the console race, I think doesn't really lay into the reality of most people. Like 90% of the people.
Oh, man.
Just focused more on great games on our console, that somehow we're going to win the console race, I think doesn't really lay into the reality of.
Oh, man.
Hold on.
Okay.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh, no.
Holy Spirit,
no. Oh, no.
activate. Holy Spirit, activate. Activate. Activate.
Oh, man.
Build a great Project Scarlet. I want people to feel like they can have amazing console experiences they've never seen before, and that they've got the best lineup of content and services of any platform out there. And we're totally focused on that. And I know we have other things going with like coming to PC and xCloud, but I'll say that being a leader in console is something that the team is committed to doing, and we're not building this program to try to aim for second place. We were going to build it aiming for first place, and that's what I want to hit.
And what innovative capabilities is he talking about? He's talking about using the same dashboard from the previous generation and not innovating on that. The same goddamn controller and not using a different controller with different features and stuff. Because you have done nothing to innovate your hardware. So if you're banking on that and not the games, well, the games suffer. The games are not there to sell it, and the hardware features are not there either. So what are you selling? Quick resume? Exactly, quick resume.
I think the difference that we've seen in the last 20 years.
The last 20 years, this clown, he's going to talk about this is what I mean, where he goes back and acts like we're dumb. This is what I don't like about this stuff. You say, like, why does this should bother us because he goes back and pretends that we're dumb. Like, oh, for the last 20 years, this has been happening. You didn't see it? Dude, you were out there. You just said 2 years ago how you are not a third-party publisher. You said it. You had people promising them features of Activision Blizzard were going to come to them in 2024. What the hell? You built this house. Don't act like we're crazy for asking these questions. And that's what he does. Paris asked that question, which is a legit question. I got the link to this interview in there, in the description. But like when they ask him these questions, he goes off and going like, well, this is shocking. Like, what do you mean? We've seen for the last 20 years. Like, dude, you built this community. You built this infrastructure. You rallied the troops. And now you're abandoning them on the battlefield. Only 4 games, right, Lou? We got Lou Flame. Lulu! We got our own Lulu here. Lou Flame in the house. Shout out to Lou Flame. We got a Lou. I can see Lou now make Lou Flame! Lulu! Like, you built this. It's like, guys, I'll make a man out of you. He's like doing the Milan. He's like, let's get down to business to defeat the Hans. And he's like building them up. He's like building them all up, getting ready to fight the battle. And then he gets to the battlefield and feels like, we shouldn't be fighting anymore. I'm out of here, guys. Leaving the goddamn community in the battlefield with no swords. This is Phil. Last 20 years, it's not been that. Here he goes.
And I think this is good because I come from building games.
Oh, shit. Phil comes from building games. Man, 20 years ago, Phil. The games have suffered the worst under you. I wouldn't be using that trump card right there. You come from building games. Holy shit. Then why is this the worst regimen of games under you has been the worst? Oh, shit. That's not one you want to pull, Phil.
It's really game first, not platform first. Most of the games you and I will talk about run across so many different platforms. And those are the games that are having success. Those are the games that are at the top of the charts when you look.
Is he talking about Indiana Jones? Is he talking about Halo Infinite? Phil, well, what games are we talking about here? The top of the chart, the games that we talk about. Are you talking about what? Hellblade 2, Phil. Are we talking about Hellblade 2, Halo Infinite, Master Chief Collection, Indiana Jones, Starfield? Are those the games that you're referring to, Phil?
Platforms. And those are the games that are happening in the last 20 years. And I think this is good because I come from building games. It's really game first, not platform first. Most of the games you and I will talk about run across so many different platforms. And those are the games that are having success. Those are the games that are at the top of the charts when you look at the most played, most successful games.
They're not your games.
And I want to build a platform that services those creators,
Wait a second, Phil. He just did Phil Ness's own sentence. He said, for the last 20 years, Grinders, Call of Duty is the only one, and they bought that one. Exactly. Now, just like he used to use Minecraft and everything. Yeah, Wukong, is that playable on Xbox? Dude, you weren't... Listen, he's talking out his ass, but this is a crazy thing. Here we go. He just said it's about his 20 years.
First, not platform.
What is it, Phil? Excuse me?
Where they want to play. And we want our hardware to win based on the hardware capabilities that we have.
Yeah, well, that's not
I
happening.
think the difference that we've seen in the last 20 years, and I think this is good because I come from building games, it's really game first, not platform first.
It's never been platform first, Phil. It's always been game. The games define the platform. The games define the platform, Phil. The games define the platform. What are you talking about the last 20 years? The games define the platform. Where did I hear that? I heard it from somewhere. I heard it from somewhere, right? The games define the platform. Games first, right?
Future Bethesda games like the next Elder Scrolls exclusive to Game Pass.
One of the reasons people pick different consoles
is looking at the exclusive games that are available. If you think about Nintendo, a platform I love. I mean, people think of Zelda, Mario. These are iconic franchises that are available on those platforms. For us, we have franchises like Halo and Forza and things that people love, and Sony has their own set of exclusive franchises. So as we're shipping things, we will definitely have new exclusive franchises coming to Xbox. There's no doubt.
But why?
Oh, really? So Phil, when?
I think the difference that we've seen in the last 20 years, and I think this is good because I come from building games, it's really game first, not platform first. Most of the games you and I will talk about run across so many different platforms. And those are the games that are having success. Those are the games that are at the top of the charts when you look at the most played, most successful games.
Okay, so it's games first. All right, Phil. So it's all about the games, not the platform. Now, why did you just say this?
And I want to build a platform that's...
Whoa, 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 whoa. He just said it's games first, not platform first. Then what did he just say? I want to build a platform. Wait a second here. You should say, I want to build games for everyone to play. What are you saying you want to build a platform? That sounds platform first, doesn't it? That don't sound game first. He just said it right there.
Platforms. And those are the games first, about where they want to play. And we want our hardware to win based on the hardware capabilities that we have. I think the difference that we've seen in the last 20 years, and I think this is good because I come from building games.
Okay, Phil.
It's really game first, not platform.
Not platform.
Most
okay,
of
good.
the games you and I will talk about run across so many different platforms. And those are the games that are having success. Those are the games that are at the top of the charts.
And they're already at the top of the charts. They're already doing that stuff. The Fortnites, the Call of Duty. They're already there, Phil. So what?
When you look at the most played, most successful games, and I want to build a platform that services those creators that are trying to meet people on every screen. But let's...
So you want to build a platform to help creators be on every screen. That don't sound like games first, does it? He said over the last 20 years, it's about games first, not platform first, because the biggest games are on every platform. But he wants to build a platform for people to reach all those players. Exactly. They're already there, dopey. They are. They're already there. But Grinders, do you hear what this is? This is the piece of shit clown. This is what I mean. This is all a pitch for stupid Xbox, Cloud, and Game Pass. He wants people, I'm making a game, and I want to reach as many people as possible. He wants them to knock on Phil's door to use his platform. That he says it's about the games, not the platform, but he's trying to build a platform. Okay, Phil, you just said it's about games, but now you're trying to build a platform. Where are the games then? This is what I mean. They don't give a shit about the games. Their end game is to be a service like Steam, to be a cloud service, that I'm a developer, I want to make games, and I want to reach as many people as possible. So Phil has Game Pass on every friggin' device. I go knock on Phil's door and go, Phil, let me bring this game to you, and then now I'll be on all these devices because I put my game on Xbox platform. Well, there's two problems with that. One, the platform that he's building is based on the console hardware that's not selling. So if that hardware is getting skipped because it is the lowest hardware and developers are not prioritizing it, well, they skip the cloud as well as the console. So therefore, I'm going to take a risk putting it on your lowest common denominator hardware just to hope that people pay $20 a month to play my game. And I give you a cut because I'm on your platform. Whereas I could just take my game develop it for Steam and sell that shit, develop it for PlayStation and drop it on 80 million consoles, put it on a Switch and drop it for another 160 million consoles. Guess who I don't need? I don't need your platform. I don't need Homeless Pass. Exactly, Astro. I don't need goddamn Phil Ness platform. I don't need your xCloud. Hell, I could put it on Steam and man, NVIDIA runs the show and I could get NVIDIA Cloud, which is cheaper than xCloud, to run my game if I want to put it on other places. With less effort than putting it and developing it for your stupid shit-ass Series S and X that's not selling. That's the problem here. Tell me it's not about the console. The problem is the console is the thing that's powering their cloud. And on PC, they're not doing shit on PC because everybody wants to buy their games on Steam. Steam has a better controller interface than the Xbox app. The problem is that he is selling something that nobody wants. All these years, this is not something that just happened in January of 2025. This is the tune that they've been trying to sell for years upon years. They thought, don't you remember the Phil Spencer flywheel? Oh, we're going to put our games in the service and then other people will follow, right? Phil Spencer thought that the world runs like this. He thought that everybody is running around like this. He thought that, oh, if I just do it, everybody's going to do it. I'll put my games in the service. And then other people will do it. Watch me. Here comes Halo in the service. Who would have thought?
We're streaking. We're going up through the quad to the gymnasium.
Who's streaking?
There's more coming.
Frank, get in the car.
Everybody's doing it.
Yeah, Phil, nobody's doing it. Nobody was bringing their games to your service. That's why you had to go buy publishers. Because nobody was coming to your service because they were losing money on that stuff. But what I think is funny is that he says it's about the games first, not platform first, and then goes to say, I'm trying to build a platform. Well, that sounds like you're doing platform first, Phil.
Say, like our own hardware, I think it's fundamental to what Xbox is. It's not lost to me. I've said over and over that Xbox, no. Yes.
Well, boxes in the name. It's not. Yo, hear this pivot. Boxes in the name. It's not lost to me. Oh, man, Phil. You have no justification for that console at all. You are not. Believe me, if watching these two interviews, the last thing you want to do is go out and go buy an Xbox. Right? I can tell you that right now. Watching these two interviews, he has not made a case for both of the questions I would ask him about why buy an Xbox. He could have listed games. He could have listed, ray tracing, and he talks about nothing. I like what the team is doing. I believe in them. Boxes in the name.
Own hardware, I think it's fundamental to what Xbox is. It's not lost to me. I've said over and over that box is in the name of our brand.
Boxes in the name. Boxes in the name. Let's get that Phil again. Let's get that Phil face for the fans.
It's not lost to me. I've said over and over that box is in.
Boxes in the name. Phil, how fundamental you gotta be? Oh, that's like Sony going, you know what? PlayStation still matters because play is in the name. Holy shit. Thank God. Oh.
Xbox, no. Phil does.
You imagine that? Imagine Sony. You imagine some of the Sony stupid ass executives would get on here and go, guys, I still believe in the PlayStation console because play is in the name. Oh, it's a PlayStation. It's going to mean that a PlayStation. That's why you got to buy it because play is in the name and station. It's a PlayStation. Man, go buy one today. Station is in the name. Like, oh, it's a station and you play. It's never dead. Like, what the fuck? What a fucking dude. That is the most stupidest. Go buy an Xbox because box is in the name. Phil is pulling out all the Phil Ness, man. Phil, you drunk, go home. I don't know what's going on with Phil. I think at the interview he fell back into his shelves. It's PlayStation. That means Nintendo's fucked. Nintendo don't have any. It's like we're Nin and 10. Oh shit. Nintendo can't make that excuse. Oh shit, Nintendo's done. They got box in the name. PlayStation. Buy it because it's a play and it's a station. Go buy it. Oh my God.
Successful games. And I want to build a platform that services those creators that are trying to meet people on every screen. But let's say, like our own hardware, I think it's fundamental to what Xbox is. It's not lost on me. I've said over and over that box.
Where is it again?
It's not lost on me. I've said over and over that box is
Oh man, what's the
run across so many different platforms. And those are the games that are having success. Those are the games that are at the top of the charts when you look at the most played, most successful games. And I want to build a platform that services those creators that are trying to meet people on every screen. But let's say, like our own hardware, I think it's fundamental to what Xbox is. It's not lost on me. I've said over and over that box is in the name of our brand. I'll say is in the position I'm in, I look at hardware as a critical part of what we do, but not trying to gatekeep the games off of other places for the benefit of it. Let's go build innovative hardware.
Yeah, Phil, let's not gatekeep. Let's not gatekeep at all. All right, Phil, let's not gatekeep at all. We don't want to gatekeep anything. All right, Phil, we don't want to gatekeep anything.
Grow Game Pass, and Xbox will be a better platform. Like, let's be clear, we could have sold Halo 2 on PlayStation, and we probably would have sold a couple of copies. We probably could have done the same thing on Nintendo's platform. Yeah, one or
let's
two.
Not gatekeep
so when I look at Game Pass, we absolutely are going to make money on Starfield, like touch wood, that's the plan. And we will grow Game Pass, and Xbox will be a better platform, both on PC and console where people play. And for us, it's about expanding our platform reach. And we think important games like Starfield will be catalysts for Game Pass growth on a lot of different platforms. But anytime you're growing the platform, there's always this trade-off with games. We are not a third-party publisher.
The box is in the name. Get the box.
Let's go build innovative hardware that people want to use to play, whether that's in their hands, whether it's on their television, or even other places. And I love our hardware team, and spent some time with them just this week and the roadmap that they have. And I think we're learning a lot from this, like Steam Deck, and what does it mean for our games to be there? ROG Ally, what does it mean? Lenovo, what does Xbox mean on those?
Phil? You act like handhelds are something different. It is a Windows device, Phil. You're like our game showing up on a Legion Go. Dude, it's a PC on a small screen. What are you talking about? Your game showing up there. You act like it's a special device or something like that where you're building games for the Legion Go. You're building games for, nobody's building games for those devices. They're building them for PC, and then people scale them down to run on the battery of the weaker console. Then nobody's building games. Why does he talk like handhelds? Like, oh, it's so innovative looking at our games on these devices. Like, what? Dude, they're just scaled down PC games. It's a PC. It's not a special device. What are you talking about? Like, why is this like this revelation? Like, oh my God, look at these games showing up on a Legion Go. And what does that mean? What does it mean? The fucking PC game scaled down to run on a battery. It's like running a game on a laptop with a smaller screen. What the fuck are you talking about? Nobody's building games for the fucking Legion Go. It's a scaled down, it's a PC game. What does this mean? Like, he looks at it going, what does this mean? A game running on a Legion Go. What does this mean? What do we go do? What is going on the Asus ROG Ally? What does this mean? Look at these games running on here. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's a fucking PC. Like, what does this mean? I'm excited. What does this?
What does Xbox mean on those platforms? I don't think we've tuned it perfectly yet. And
you don't think?
What does Xbox mean on those platforms? I don't think we've tuned it perfectly yet, and it's spent a lot of time with the teams on that. But I want to make progress there. LG and the work we're doing with cloud, all of that.
LG and the work we're doing with cloud. What? You put the app on LG TV. How's your Samsung one doing, Phil? Please.
That helps us evolve our platform software So really embrace allowing someone to be a member of Xbox on whatever screen they want to play on.
Yeah, very quickly talking about handheld, and I'm very curious to hear your thoughts because I know when we see each other at events, we always talk about like what games we've been playing and all that stuff. So as a gamer, what are your thoughts of the Nintendo Switch 2 that Nintendo just showed a couple days ago, the announcement? Just want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I exchanged some mail with Furukawa-san, the CEO of Nintendo. I gave him a big congrats. I said my old eyes appreciate the larger screen. I know how how like simple that is, but dude, it's not always true that I can read all the text. But Nintendo, in their innovation, like what they mean in this industry, like I just always applaud the moves that they make. I think they did like a little flash video. I know we'll get more detail over time. Really looking forward to supporting them with the games that we have. And I just think they're such an important part of this industry. So yeah, I think it's hard with what's publicly out there now about the platform for everybody to get their hands around it. But who would ever bet against the success of that team? I mean, they are just masterful in what they do. Switch is a massive success. And I think Switch 2 will be as well.
No.
Damn. Yo, he said more great things about the Nintendo hardware than he said about his own Xbox hardware. He goes, I believe box is the name. Dude, he could have said, well, Switch is the name. Means I'm going to switch it up. Like, dude, he just did more sales pitch for the Nintendo Switch and the hardware than he did for his own hardware. Oh, shit, Phil. Phil gave he gave the runway out for Nintendo Switch. Oh, there's a great hardware, my biggest screen and all. Meanwhile, he's like, you would want to buy an Xbox because box is in the name. It's like, oh shit, Phil, what are we doing here? Holy shit, hit that subscribe button. God damn it. I got overdose of Phil Ness tonight. Holy shit, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to sleep. I'm gonna be walking the floors. Dude, Phil, that's switching this. He's like, he should have said use his own logic. He said, the Switch is going to be great because Switch is in the name and I'm going to switch it up. Like, espresso. Like, Phil, what the fuck? Yo, he just sold that goddamn Switch. He's like, they do incredible. This. But Phil, why should we buy your hardware? Box is in the name. It's like, oh, shit. Yo, man, Phil, get the hell out of here. Yo, tell me they're not a third-party publisher without telling me you're a third-party publisher. Holy crap. You just heard how he had the fucking Nintendo glaze. He gets right. He had the Switch glaze. He's like, this is incredible hardware. That team, they're so valuable. I'm so excited. I can't talk about too much of it, but it's wonderful. That screen is larger. They do incredible, innovative things. He's like, oh man, I can't wait for the Switch too. And then they're like, well, Phil, why buy hardware? Why buy the Xbox? Box is in the name. It's essential. I believe in it. I always said box is in the name. It's like, oh shit.
The reason I want to bring that up because it's very interesting how back then,
and they even said like, oh, we can't wait to support it and put our games on it. He didn't even talk about his own hardware that way. He didn't even talk about games coming to his own platform. Oh, his own hardware. Oh God, Phil.
Companies were
dude, the Phil Ness meter is off the charts, crooked. Goddamn, it is like twitching on the hundreds. The charts, the Phil Ness is at dangerous levels tonight. I think I'm losing my voice right here.
Like afraid to release a handheld.
It's too much.
We're getting to see more of that now. Like how it's changed like the past couple.
I mean, look at it. They created a device category. Now you've got PC.
Oh, Phil's still selling the Switch. He's still selling the Switch. We quickly jumped off of Xbox. He's like, just buy it because box is in the name. But anyway, let me tell you about the Switch.
He's going to that space. Like it's become natural. Like, well, what does it mean to take these games that also show up on the television, but are now on smaller screens, and are they playable? And because of the amount of travel I do, I probably play on my ROG Ally as much as I play on any device. And
oh no, not like this. But the hardware is essential to it. Feels like, oh, the console's so essential. He's not even playing on it.
Not like an ad, but like the nice thing is when I pick up there's my games. I mean, our dev direct yesterday, I was pushing the team at the beginning. Let's put that all these games are play anywhere, because more and more, that's an important thing, that my save game travels to whatever screen I want to play on. My community's always there. And I just think that's an expectation for all of us, that the games we invest in are able to be played on any screen that we want to play them on.
And I'm so glad you said that. And I've been a huge fan of Xbox Play Anywhere over the years, because I love that flexibility of taking my progress on whatever device I'm on. And to that point, like Jason Rom.
Yeah, well, Xbox Play Anywhere doesn't work on a Steam Deck, Paris. There you go. So it's really not Play Anywhere. It's if you have a Windows device, it's Play Anywhere, but not on a Steam Deck, because it doesn't work with Steam.
Was at CES, and he was at the Lenovo event, and he briefly touched on the fact that, hey, we're working on essentially bringing that Xbox experience to Windows. And to your point about a Rogue Ally, Lenovo Go, things like that, when you look in comparison to what Valve has done with SteamOS, is they've given you this simplified experience on their operating system. So it sounds like what you're telling me is that is very important to the future of Xbox, to basically replicate that for Xbox, bring that Xbox experience no matter what device that you're on.
Yeah, as Windows ends up on new form factors, I do think it's important that we curate the experience.
Yeah.
Oh, similar to like tablets, right, Phil? Yeah. Windows on new form factors like 2-in-1s, and you made that work well, like the Surface and the Surface. Yeah, you made all that tablet shit work real well with Windows on different devices. Oh, please.
And the nice thing about the Xbox platform team is they have a ton of experience of taking something that we all know the backbone of the Xbox OS came from Windows, and to put a shell and kind of protect from some of the things that users don't really need to get to. I think SteamOS does a really nice job, and you can always window over, obviously, to full Linux if there's.
Yeah, well, SteamOS does it because they're using it off of Linux, not goddamn Windows. And Windows, we already saw what happened when you download an app from the App Store and it goes into a Windows hidden folder, and you can't do mods and you can't do DLSS and all this other stuff that you can't do. And because it's limited, because it's tied into the operating system with the stupid apps that you buy, games that you get from the Windows Store, where Steam, it's all open. The folders are there. You can put your mods in there, all that stuff. With the Xbox, or you buy them on Windows Store, it's all tied into the operating system and hidden folders and apps folders and shit. So get ready, Phil, because I want to see what Satya is going to allow you to diminish. He's not going to make you turn off Copilot. That shit can be running in the background, recording your ass.
Things that you need to go do, but it's like that's the expertise we have inside of this company. Windows is a massive thing when you think about all the hardware they support, but the ability for us to put an experience on top of a Windows device that actually feels more custom for gamers and game creators, that's a ton of focus that Jason and Sarah and all the team are on right now, and I'm excited about progress.
Yeah, I have to say.
Oh, man. He's excited about the progress with that. He's always excited. But what about the execution? They're working on it. They're making it. Dude, you had an Asus ROG Ally for 3 years, and you haven't done anything. You put compact mode. Now you want to bring the Windows overlay. Yeah, let's see. And how's that working? And when people's libraries are on Steam, I want to know how that Xbox app works with that. Oh, please, please. They'll put it in beta. Oh, they'll be in beta with Windows 12, and they'll drag it on for another year, just like xCloud is still in beta. Please, they think that they got all the time in the world. They'll cancel it before anything happens. It's gonna flop. It will. They're so slow and behind. Oh, we're working on it. We're gonna bring the overlay over there. Oh, please. That Xbox app has been that thing's been sitting there forever. It's going to be like the Zune app, like Groove Music, that just sits on the Windows thing, takes up space. You can't uninstall it.
Hey, Phil, I watched the Developers Direct yesterday. Man, that was like the video overall, the presentation was so good, man. Every single game that you guys presented, I want to play them all, especially Ninja Gaiden, of course, right? But the rest was really good. I was telling this to Paris and Ree. I was like, man, this was like an A+ presentation. Like, I loved the conversation with the developers, just getting to see the behind the scenes of them talking about working on
that's not a question.
Teams that aren't like
this is the fluffing part
where Xbox's head as far as games goes, but it's up to you to actually deliver what you can see, or for lack of a better term. I kind of feel like we're getting there, where you look at the second half of what you're able to do in 2024, and obviously this presentation that you just have with the Dev Direct, we're kind of getting a peek into 2025. And then when you go back to the showcase last year, obviously you're showing even more down the road. I mean, you personally, I mean, how do you feel when you look over the next few years of Xbox as far as delivering these games, delivering these experiences? How are you feeling about that? You feeling good?
I've never been more excited about our portfolio. And I think sounds like hyperbole, just kind of, but I'm being honest. And I'll go back to, people probably know I'm playing a ton of Diablo 4, something about Vessel of Hatred.
All right, enough of this fluffing. There's nothing of value here. You know where there is value, Grinders? We're going to go back to the tapes. A couple more chat. We'll get that goal. We're going to go back to the tapes of Phil Spencer. We're going to go back. And then here you go. We just found out today, and some other slight news here. We just found out today that People Can Fly now will be working on Gears of War E-Day, the next mainline game in Gears of War. Well, I got some good news and bad news. Good news means that probably Gears of War E-Day is going to be coming.
25. It's coming
to other platforms. I'm thinking, I don't know why they would make this announcement there. And the other bad news, though, is People Can Fly made the worst Gears of War of all of them. They made Gears of War Judgment, which was like an arcade shooter, because People Can Fly made Bulletstorm, and they made the worst Gears of War Judgment, which was not a good one. So People Can Fly now is working on Gears E-Day. Hopefully they do not turn this into Gears of War Judgment, and they just let it be and let Marcus and the team at Coalition just do Gears of War. But I'm not super excited, because People Can Fly did not make the best Gears. So, but there you go. They're returning to collaborate with them as a lead developer on Gears of War Judgment. Oops. And co-developer with Gears 1 and 3. So they helped. But Judgment, they were the lead on. Yes. But I think they're just co-doing this. So that should be good. But that's news that came out today. But, you know, one of the things that I said, you know, a big motif of this whole show, yeah, Kev says he thinks this next Gears is like side story. Well, I don't know, man. But all I know is that they led on Judgment, which that was not the best. That was the worst one, because that one was like, it was set up in different episodes, and it was set up as an arcade, like bullet points, like Bulletstorm basically was. A Coalition did Hivebusters. Hivebusters was awesome. Hivebusters was great. They just needed to make that Gears of War E-Day, do Hivebusters, that same style. But the motif of this this evening has been just Phil glazing everybody. The whole thing of they need to put their games on PlayStation and Switch in order to continue to invest and grow the Xbox business, because it's not growing and it is not doing what he hoped it would do. Starfield didn't do what, knock on wood, what it was supposed to do. Call of Duty may have not done what it was supposed to do and sustain growth in Game Pass. That's why, in order to continue with hardware, to continue to invest and continue to sustain the investments that they made and not shut down studios and not cancel games, they need to have some sort of influx of money more, and they got to sell these games. Now, the good thing about it, and I think we realize this, is that, you know, through the years, Game Pass has been sort of this question mark of like, what kind of game do you have to be making in order to put it in Game Pass? Is it these $30, $40 type games? Is it these games that are episodic? But they're not going to make these big blockbuster AAA games and throw them in Game Pass. And that was always my concern with Game Pass. But actually, now that they're making the games for PlayStation and Switch, and they got to sell these games, I think now that caution that we would have, like, what does a Game Pass game look like, now could be offset, because now they have to make these games for other platforms, which means is that these games hopefully won't be held back because of the distribution of, like, it's going into a subservice, which has been the result of a lot of these games coming out half-baked, coming out all goo-goo gaga, all messed up, because they were just getting thrown into a service. We'll fix it later. But the fact that they're actually having to put these games on other platforms where this competition will be heavy, I don't think they don't have the leeway now to put out a game saying we'll fix it later and put it on a PlayStation store, because it will just get cannibalized. Nobody will buy it. They'll just move on to the other games there. So maybe this puts pressure on them. But that's right, Michael. We got to be careful. We got to wait to see. Just like that Dev Direct. I said before, Compulsion showed We Happy Few. People thought it was going to be the next BioShock. And that game was not. So these games showed well. Doom looks friggin' awesome. I don't have any doubt with Doom because that game was established already. But Compulsion games, we don't know. We have to see these things. Avowed, we don't know. People are already saying we're 2 and 3 weeks out of Avowed. People are already doing the typical, where's the marketing to Avowed? We don't even know what's going on. Dude, they covered the game in October. That's it. There's your marketing. Where's the marketing to Avowed? They want they want trains and stuff for Avowed and skins and Times Square. Microsoft don't do that shit anymore. But Phil said it's about the games. But my problem all the time was they were marketing for a platform that they wanted publishers to join in. You could go back and look at the Windows Phone and go back and look at Windows Phone and how developers wouldn't want to develop for them. The thing is, exactly, Anonymous. I'm hoping that it does put pressure. This is all my hope, that maybe it makes them have to put out quality games knowing that it's going to other platforms. And they can't just kind of like fudge it and throw it in services. So hopefully we get some benefits out of this stuff. And maybe that's why shows like that, like Gears, Ninja Gaiden and all this stuff, maybe this brings out the best in what Microsoft has and not go down there. But we need to wait and see. But the thing is that I've always said that Ninja Gaiden deal, they went over there, they dropped the bag, they got the game and put it over there. They didn't have to buy, we didn't have to go through the legal fees or any all that other stuff. The legal and then this and the under oath and the CMA and what, and they had to buy these publishers because people were not doing it. And I got 2 things I want to show you. So hit that like button and subscribe here. And we're almost at our member goal there, our goal there for the song. But let me show this to you. There's actually one thing that I want to show, and that is something that Zuby put together of the Philness of this over the years. It kind of recaps everything that we just discussed, because this has been an overdose of Philness, and we need a kind of a summary to rein it all in. Now let me get this. I hate these things here. Zuby put this thing out. Just the way the Philness turned. To kind of summarize this whole story. In 2020, Phil Spencer goes, when you talk about Nintendo and Sony, we have a ton of respect for them, but we see Amazon and Google as the main competitors moving forward. That's not to disrespect Nintendo and Sony, but the traditional gaming companies are somewhat out of position. Wow. Just 5 years ago, Phil Spencer talking shit about Sony and Nintendo, saying they don't got what we got. We're going after the big dogs of Amazon and Google. Damn, Phil. Damn. The interview, he just basically sold a Switch, saying the Switch was the best thing since sliced bread. And an Xbox should be bought because it's a box in the name. In October of 2020, Phil Spencer said this deal was not to take games away from other player bases like that. Nowhere in the documentation that we put together, how do we keep other players from playing these games? We want more people to play games, not fewer people. When I think about where people play and are going to be played, a number of devices, we have xCloud and PC and Game Pass and our console. I don't have to go ship those games on any platform other than the platforms that we support in order to make the deals work for us, whatever that means. Damn, Phil flexing in October of 2020 when he said Starfield is ours, bitches.
Great Circle is coming out this December.
He says we are good with xCloud, PC, Game Pass. We don't need anybody else. We're not a third-party publisher. Remember what he said? Flexing. This is not Phil Ness, bell-bottom Phil Ness. This is Phil Ness from 5 years ago. Now in 2020, they buy ZeniMax for $8.1 billion. In March 2021, here come the flexing. If you're an Xbox customer, I want you to know that this is bringing great exclusive games to you that ship on platforms where Game Pass exists. That's our goal. That's why we're doing this. That's the root of the partnership. Exclusive games for you. Then, just 2 years later, October 2023, for the millions of that love ABK, we want to let you know that today's a good day. You're at the heart and soul of these franchises, and we're honored to have you part of the community. Whether you play on Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, PC, or mobile, you're welcome here and will remain welcome, even if Xbox isn't your favorite place to play franchises. Because when everyone plays, we all win. We believe in our news today will unlock a world of possibilities. Yo, that was a big Phil Ness 180 going from 2020, 21 to 23. That, like I said, just 2 years ago. Then in May, May of 2023, after the Redfall debacle, we are not in the business of counseling Sony or Nintendo. There isn't really a great solution win for us. I know that you'll upset a ton of people, but it's just the truth and a matter of when you're third place in the console marketplace and the top two players are as strong as they are and have certain cases very discreet focused on doing deals and other things that make it hard for us to win as Xbox. That's not on them. That's not on anybody else. That's on us. We lost the worst generation to lose in the Xbox One. Then in June 2023, Matt Booty says we're going to go spend Sony out of business. Then in January 2024, they get Activision Blizzard for $75 billion. And then in February, just 4 games. Nothing beyond that. Don't take it as some kind of signal. Multi-platform strategy. Our commitment to our Xbox customers is going to get the opportunity to subscribe in games. Phil even had a little memo to his whole team where he said, we'll look to the state of the medium where we see players increasingly gaming on multiple devices, but their experience is defined by the fragmentation created by platform silos. Multi-device players have to navigate multiple identities, libraries, communities, wallets, and reward programs. Well, Phil, that's the business. Everybody got their own. We have different vision for the future of gaming. A future where players have a unified experience across devices, where players can easily discover a vast array of games with diverse spectrum of models. A future where more creators are empowered to envision their creative vision, reach a global audience, and unite their communities. A future where every screen is an Xbox. A future where Xbox is everywhere. And it's nowhere. Now, February 4th. 2024 February. We think it's an interesting point for us to use some of what other platforms have right now to grow our franchises. Dude, we did a whole 180. In 2020, he said that Sony and Nintendo, the traditional companies, are out of position. And now in February of 2024, he's saying right now, he goes, I want to use what they have. 2024, you can't succeed unless you draw in customers from other publishers and platforms. And because you're not finding new customers, fighting over the same pie. I would say every decision we make today and tomorrow is for a better Xbox. 2024, Doom announced. November 2024. I don't see any sort of red lines in our portfolio. Thou must not. December, Indiana Jones Great Circle announced for PS5. January, we're taking the January of 2025. Somebody leak says 2024, we need their help. We're really taking an approach. We want people to play Xbox on many different devices, cloud, PC. It doesn't mean more of game shipping on more platforms, not just PlayStation. We love what we do in Nintendo, and we heard that one. But there is the road to Phil Ness. Complete change. Exclusives matter. Exclusives don't matter. We're going to spend them out of business. They're not in our league. Amazon and Google is at. Nintendo and Sony are out of position. Now they need Nintendo and Sony to make up for the money that they spent. Grinders. It's wild. And then if you notice, a lot of their changes happened after they made acquisitions. They had to buy ZeniMax. Why? They could have just do Ninja Gaiden deals, right? They could have just went and did Ninja Gaiden deals. Just grab up some games like Titanfall. Oh, by the way, let's go back. Zuby went back far, but I'm going back even further for the grand finale, Grinders. Zoink's OG interview. Titanfall interview. Listen to this.
And then confirmed it at Gamescom when we all got to play it.
Yeah.
Do you ever call Vince and try to Vince Impella, the studio head, and talk about trying to buy that studio and have that bring them into the Microsoft family officially?
It's interesting. First, on when we saw something special for us, it was kind of the same time. It was and we start our prep for E3 like now, so we're starting our prep for the next E3 already. But you started to get glimpses of how that game was coming together, and I think we knew that this was going to be something that was incredibly important to us, and started to frame how it showed up in our E3 presentation, how we talked about it on the floor, and then looking at the other game shows and make sure we had a great presence for it on the floor, and that's paid off really well. I think to some out there, there's a fixation with which studios you own, which studios you work with. And for better or for worse, I'm not fixated on that. I mean, I lived through the 360 generation and a great relationship with Epic.
Sure.
And we built Gears of War, and really that franchise was born on the 360 and hit incredible heights on the 360. And whether we owned Epic or simply worked with Epic was not part of the conversation on whether that game was going to be great. And certain people will look at how many Microsoft badged employees do you have in first party versus Sony badged employees, and when they start to weigh the different first parties. And I know there are some people that want to own their own studio, be independent, drive their business in completely their own way.
Yeah.
Manage their own culture, and I respect that. And if the people want to work that way, we'll continue to work with them. I don't see it as a barrier to what we can do together, whether it's Remedy, whether it's Insomniac, whether it's Crytek.
Sure.
And so the relationship with Respawn, obviously they have a publisher today for their game, but it's a strong relationship, and we feel great about what they're bringing to Xbox, and something that I hope to continue.
So that brings me to an interesting question: is your predecessor Ed Freeze? Is he
Shane Kim was in the middle.
That's true. Shane still hates me for the Crackdown 1 review, by the way. Shane Kim, I love you, but
what did you give Crackdown 1?
7.
Oh man,
we're
done.
Go
we're
back
done
and read
here.
the review. It's fully anyway. Little inside baseball, too far down the rabbit hole here, but Ed Freeze went and, I mean, granted, he was trying to build a portfolio from scratch. There was no Xbox, but he was effectively, I interviewed him once, he was effectively given a blank checkbook and told, go out and get us some games, go get us some, and he bought, there was Lionhead, there was Bungie, there was all these things.
Rare, yeah.
Rare, of course, being the big one, financially speaking. So now from what you're saying, it sounds like you look at it as, that's not the best strategy for Microsoft. I mean, you've started some internal studios, but it sounds like from what you're alluding to that you would rather spend less money and sort of have less overhead and simply identify and target partners and try to work with them from lack of a better term, second party perspective. Is that fair to say these days?
What I'd say is I'm focused on getting the best games on the platform, the best exclusive games. And we're completely open to buying studios, and we've done that. But the goal is not to buy a studio. The goal is to actually work with the best talent on the planet to bring the best games to your platform exclusively. That's, to me, the role of first party. I'm happy to have a large headcount-driven first-party organization. There's no aversion. That's not a financial, because the financials with an external deal versus having employees is really not that different when you add in royalties and other things. So it's not like you're actually saving a tremendous amount of money. We don't consider them second-party deals because we fully fund the development.
Of course.
I mean, the number of people that we've had from Redmond at Crytek over the last 6 months working hand-in-hand with Crytek on Rise has been tremendous. It's a lot of people. It's been a great relationship, and we treat those games as much a first-party game as an internally developed game.
Yeah.
It's just true that certain studios have their own business objectives. Maybe they're shipping things on other platforms.
Right.
Maybe they're playing in different lines of business. They've got an engine business. They've also got a game business. So we just look at the pitches that are out there that we get, and we have great relationships with the development community and try to make sure that we're bringing the best games to our platform, because in the end I think the gamers play the games.
Of course they do.
They don't play the studios.
That
they
is
don't
true.
play the resolution numbers, right? They play the games, and we want to make sure the best games are there.
But if you're in a position where you think, okay, we should pick up these guys and make this official for whatever the reason, do you have because Microsoft itself is a very different entity than it was 8, 9, 10 years ago. Do you have that in your do you get the green light if you say I think we should buy these guys? Is that something that Microsoft itself believes in as well?
Yeah, absolutely. And we've talked about it, starting more studios. And in some ways, when you find a core group of leaders that want to go and start something new, and you can build around them, and you can start with a new IP, Black Tusk would probably fall into this example.
Who became the coalition?
Which you criminally teased at E3.
Black
for
Tusk
about 10
became the coalition when they
seconds,
bought
and we
Gears.
haven't heard a thing from it since.
That's right. Well, we're focused on launch. Pretty soon, very soon, we're going to focus on the next year, because I feel really good about the portfolio next year. I think we've got a great mix of original IPs, some sequels coming, some big games, some smaller games. I think once we get through launch and go headstrong into what we're going to ship in the next 12 months, I think people will be excited about that. But finding the right talent that you want to build around.
And there is the Phil Ness. Grinders. You see? They didn't have to go buy. People play the games, not the resolution numbers. Everything that he said there, they did the opposite. And notice the partnerships that they had with Crytek, with Capcom, with Dead Rising. They had partnerships to get exclusives. They got Ninja Gaiden back in the day. They were getting Lost Odyssey. They had partnerships with developers. Don't you realize that they were making deals to bring games exclusively to their platform? But as soon as they focused on Game Pass and focused on cloud and focused on their needs and not our needs as gamers, the community, we got less games. We got more excuses. We got more wait to E3s. And they tried to fill that up with like, oh, look at us, spend money. Look at what we're buying. Look at what we're doing. Look at what we're interested in buying. Look who we bought. Look who we got. Look at what the publisher we bought. We're going to court now. We're going to CMAs. Look what we... And they use their money as flashing to go look at like, oh, we care about games. Look at how much we spent. And the results were never there. We never knew how much they spent for Titanfall. We never knew about the deal behind, Dead Rising 4 or Dead Rising on Xbox. The games just showed up and they were exclusive. They didn't have to buy anybody. And we were getting games. But as soon as they stopped doing that, they lost all their partnerships, all their deals, because they did what was best for Satya. They did what they wanted. They said cloud or bust. And when they focused on subscriptions and cloud, they lost all their leverage and partnerships, and they lost their install base. So they didn't have the negotiating factors. And then we are here. We need what PlayStation and Nintendo have. We spent a lot of money and we need our money back. Grinders, this has been an evening of too much Phil Ness. I don't know. I need to go do a run or eat some candy or something, because I need to come down from the Phil Ness hangover. But we had over 300 people in here hanging in there. And you guys stood strong through the tour of Phil Ness. It was a lot. I'm exhausted. because this guy has talked out both sides of his mouth, and we're still waiting to see, and he's excited about what's to come, and we've heard it before for the last 10 years. Maybe 8 we'll do. We won't go 10 yet. So hopefully these games come out and they're good. But man, he talks too much. He's on too many shows, and there's still some more stuff there. But I got the links to those interviews, and basically they are a third party. It is done. It was a large dose of Phil Ness. They need to sell their games now to make money back, because they're not making money back in Game Pass, and nothing's growing to the state of making money back. And now with Game Pass at $20, it's going to be hard for it to grow at the rate they need it to grow. 100 million by 2027. At $20 a month, please. It's not happening. And there are games that they never even announced that are still coming or whatever. Who the hell knows? But really, there's even Arc 2 with Vin Diesel.
I don't play this game.
Thank you, Vin Diesel. Xbox exclusive interview here at the Gaming Grindhouse. Vin Diesel doesn't even want Arc 2. I don't know what to say. But I'm telling you right now, after all these interviews,
I don't play this game.
Thank you, Vin Diesel. After all these interviews, I don't think this helped Xbox branding or Xbox at all. This showed weakness. This showed that he needs them, and just call it a day. But this doesn't really. It's Vin Diesel's Arc 2. Everwild. They need to sell these games. And hopefully that means better quality. And they can't just say, oh, well, we'll ship the frame rates later. We don't know. But we will find out where it goes, because this road is long and the Phil Ness never ends. So grinders, hit that like button. Unfortunately, we'll wait on the new song. We'll do the goal for the next time. But thank you again for all the super chats and stuff. I'll play the song from the early one that we got, some new song there. VIP grinders, you got some new song put on over the weekend. Ultimate grinders, you got a brand new song. But the banger, we're gonna have to hold off on that till we hit a goal there with that one. But we definitely got a new song I want to drop just for the end credits here. But the good one, I will save it. It has been a long night, and but hey, we're on our way. Also, too, for the emojis, we're about 90 away from members there. We have to get to 350 members. I think we're at like 300 now. Or 290 or something like that. I checked right before the show. So that's that next emoji. I got to hit the 352 emoji. Otherwise, I don't get it. But grinders, I want to thank you again. Hit that like button. Share it out. It's going to be a long week. Gaming Grindhouse. Check some of the streams. Music. Yeah, entertainment, man. This was wild. An extra dose of Phil Ness. Super long show with just one topic. Timestamps to come, but basically, anytime you watch the show, it's going to be something crazy and fun. So, grinders, hit that like button. Thank you again, grinders. And we'll be heading out with some jams on the way out. Thanks again for everybody. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the members. Welcome new subscribers. We're on our way to 3.5K. And with that, we're going to hit the jam right here.
Tried to break the PlayStation mold.
Incoming.
Dreams of fortune turning cold.
Xbox, no.
Now he's out in
Well,
the cold.
I have an exciting life now. Breakfast to go. You're gonna love my nuts. Watch this. You can do everything.
Business plans were all a mess. Thought he'd take down the best. Now he's stuck in his own jest. PlayStation's past his test. Matt Booty's dream gone bust. PlayStation outlasts the rust. He tried the once a king on a throne so high, now he's watching the time tick by. No more dreams to touch the sky, he's left with just a sigh. The market games he played so rough, found out the real stuff was tough. Now those days seem so far off, old dreams turned into a bluff. Matt Booty's dream gone bust. PlayStation outlast the rust. He tried to kill the trust. Now his empire's turned to dust, to dust. The Matt Booty's dream gone bust. PlayStation outlast the rust. He tried to kill the trust. Now his empire's turned to dust.
Gaming.